Hello, everybody, and happy Juneteenth. My name is Alicia Renice, and I'm so happy that you are here. To get us started, I want to read something that I just kind of journaled and wrote down, and I hope it resonates with you. Okay. Becoming free comes at a cost. Folks may misunderstand you, abandon you, and you may feel like you're abandoning yourself. And maybe you are. Becoming free may be uncomfortable at first. The question becomes, what is your freedom really worth to you? So again, happy Juneteenth. I'm happy that you're here. I'm sure folks are out there celebrating and spending time with loved ones and celebrating freedom. I went for a walk this morning, and I just spent time in nature talking to God. And I was just like, wow, like so many things that we take for granted, that our ancestors did not have access to, especially those enslaved ancestors, about like just walking around freely, right? Like that stuff we take for granted. And I want to make sure that I'm not taking any freedom for granted, because the only freedom that I have is the freedom that was fought for on my behalf, on the behalf of other people, but also myself. So I'm grateful for my ancestors, grateful to my ancestors, and I'm grateful for y'all for being here. So welcome everybody. Hi. Yay. Hi, Mara. Welcome. Hi, Atala Phillips. Hey. Hi. Peace to you. Hi, Darlene Stewart. Hey, JB from Maryland to London. Hi, Emily Polite. Hi, Thandy. Welcome. Yes, hope all's well. Hope all's well with y'all as well. So becoming free. As we know, today is Juneteenth, and we're celebrating, the freedom of, folks will say like the last enslaved folks. There's also some debate that that's not the last, and we know that whoever wins gets to write the history book. So we know that more stuff has happened after the fact. But I do want to talk about us becoming free, right? Hi, Simone. Welcome. I want to talk about us becoming free, because becoming free is a process, right? Even though we are technically free, right, in this country, there are still things that bind us. There are still things that hold us back. There are still things that I'm working through, and I want to share some of those things with you, and hopefully you can share some with me, and we can work this thing out together. Okay, so yes. So I want to honor my ancestors because I am on their shoulders. Right? I am because they are, right? Hey, Marcus. Hi, Marcus. Happy Juneteenth. I am because my ancestors were, and because of the work they did, whether, in executive offices, in the government, or just like everyday life. You know what I mean? Like I'm reaping the benefits. And when I think about how hard they fought for freedom, just in like things that we take for granted, right? Walking down the street. You know what I mean? Not having to get off the sidewalk for some folks. You know what I mean? Things that we take for granted. I want to make sure that I'm doing well with this life and this freedom that I've been gifted, So hi, Jenny. Hi, Mika Campbell. Or Mika Campbell. Welcome. All right, so I have a few things that I'm working through in real time to become free from. And please talk to me. Let's have a conversation. So the first thing I want to work through is, so the question I asked myself, this was a journaling prompt that I had yesterday. So it says, in honor of Juneteenth, my ancestors, the freedom of my soul, my God, what do I need to free myself from? Because a lot of times we are actively involved in our own enslavement. We are actively involved in our own bondage, and we don't even realize it, right? Some things aren't our fault, but some things are also survival, and I get it, like belonging, these kinds of things. And so we compromise. We compromise who we are. We compromise our values, our dreams, all these different things to please other people. And I've talked about this before as a recovering people pleaser. People have been my God. Their opinions have been my bondage. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I can say that I'm free all day long, but if I'm still, living for the approval of other people, am I really free? Is that how that works? I don't know. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, Sophia Reeds. Hey, I'm just so thankful for your channel. Oh, yay. So glad to be here. I'm excited to rest today on Juneteenth. Awesome. I love that. I love hearing that Black people are resting today. I love that. Hi, Miss Wit 205. Hi, Sparkle. Hi, Sandra. Yes. Hi, the Sunflower Child. I love your name, and I love sunflowers. I love your content so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So the first thing that I wrote down was, and happy Juneteenth to you as well. Thank you. So the first thing I wrote down was perfectionism. Perfectionism is something that I don't feel free from yet. Perfectionism is something I feel like we're all kind of handed at birth. Hey, These are the expectations you have to live up to, right? At 5 years old, when you're entering kindergarten, or 4, if you're in pre-K, like there are standards to be met, and you're hoping to get that A or that A plus, right? That coveted A plus, that coveted spot on the front of the school, of the schoolroom, whatever. Like we're hoping to reach our version of perfection. And I think for me, perfectionism has been bondage that I have played a part in keeping myself in, but also things that were handed to me. So I have grace. I have grace with myself, but at the same time, now that I know better, I want to do better. So perfectionism, I said, perfectionism is the sanitizing of my wild and beautiful soul. It is the erasure of who I am. And I'm too sacred for all of that. Like, I'm too sacred to be perfect. And who gets to determine what perfection is, right? Like, who are the ones pulling the strings? Who are the ones setting the standards? Usually people who don't look like me. Or if it is people who look like me, it was handed to them by people who don't look like them, right? And so this idea of perfection is hard because as a Black woman, you're already born imperfect. I've talked about this before, like being born in a Black body, you're already born wrong, right? So there's other things that are tied to perfectionism and that I'll get to in a second, but like you're already born wrong. You're already born being corrected, let's straighten your hair. Let's, you got to change how you speak. You got to change how you naturally show up in the world. And you're being taught that who you are is not enough, that who you are is not professional or whatever word they want to use, right? And so we're trying so hard to be someone we're not, seeking perfection, and it never happens, right? But then when we're chasing perfection, we're sanitizing who we really are. We're forsaking who we are to be loved by other people. And that's not really love. We're looking for acceptance, which I get, but it never satisfies. We talked about this before. People pleasing never satisfies because people are never satisfied and people never satisfy. Even if you get all the hand claps and accolades in the world, that one person that doesn't approve of you when you're chasing perfectionism, right, is going to stick out to you. It's going to ring, for years. Like, why didn't this person like me? Why? I'm trying to be perfect. Also, perfection is limiting. It limits your creativity. It limits your life. Like when you are so, and I've been here before and that's why I'm speaking about it. When you are so paralyzed with fear of being imperfect, right? Like you don't do anything. You don't live. You can't move. You can't try something new. You can't evolve because perfectionism is holding you captive. You feel me? Like you don't even have room to play and to experiment because you have to know that you know that you know before you do the thing. And also perfection isn't real. And we know that we're not perfect, which is why we feel incapable of being perfect. But what if we just accepted that? Like, I don't have to be perfect. I can be me. And being myself is sacred, and that is enough. Instead of living up to other people's version of perfection. Even looking at ourselves, at our bodies specifically, like, oh, I have an imperfection here. And I'm like, we're speaking all these things over ourselves over and over again. Like we speak so poorly to ourselves in pursuit of perfection. But we could be free if we accept that we're not perfect. We don't have to be perfect and perfection is not real. And imperfections are beautiful and not in a cheesy way, but for real. How boring would it be if all of us looked the same, sounded the same? You know what I mean? How boring would your life be if you knew that every opportunity you take was going to be a win using air quotes? That would get boring and old. Life is exciting. And perfection doesn't have to be the judgment we put on it. The imperfection, doesn't have to be the judgment we put on it. Okay. Yes. I said I'm too sacred for that. I also release hypercriticism and self-condemnation. I release both perfectionism, hypercriticism, and self-condemnation because I am too sacred to be perfect. I'm too sacred and I'm free. Hi, JB. JB says, I freed myself from the need to save everyone. I love that. I also let go of a toxic job without knowing the future. I love that. I love that. And congratulations. Congratulations. Yay. Hi, fire comes out of me. Hi, fire comes out of me. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. Hey. Hi, a villainous crone. Hey. Black women must stop trying to save everyone with the savior complex of if I save them, they'll accept me. No, let that go, Black women. Alicia's absolutely right. Yeah. That acceptance is a huge, we got to accept ourselves, y'all. We got to accept ourselves. And also perfectionism is a lie. We talked about this before, like this idea of perfectionism, like when you're waiting for perfect conditions, perfect opportunities, perfect timing, you're never going to do anything because nothing is perfect. You just got to work with what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is life. You got to work with what you have, and what you have is enough, and who you are is enough. How you look is enough. How you show up in the world is enough. You may not look like somebody else, which is beautiful. That's the whole point. You're a work of art. We don't want the same art. Like, we get tired of it. We need variety. We need challenging opinions. We need difference. And difference doesn't mean imperfect. It's almost like under this white supremacist thing we live under. It's like, if you don't meet these standards, then you're not good. Like, it means that you're not good. It's not true. We don't have to own that definition. It was handed to us. We can say, no, thanks. That's not actually what I want to believe. It's not what I resonate with. We don't have to accept stuff just because it's always been. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Hi, Latoya. Welcome. Change how you dress and how you act, constantly nitpicking at yourself to the point where you wear a mask so often you think it's your real face. Speak facts. Exactly. You think that's who you are, and it's not. And the reason why you feel so much tension, you're like, maybe if I try harder, if I do more, you feel tension because that's not who you're supposed to be. That's not where you're supposed to be. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. And you know it. And we try to calm that voice in our heads that tell us, I don't want to be here. It's like, no, you gotta straighten up and fly right. And really our soul is telling us that's not who we are. And this is burdensome. This is heavy. This is bondage. Yes, I love that. Hi, Tam L. Yes, I agree. I often feel like I'm looking for people to accept me, but I'm learning to live free of people's opinion and live in my truth. I love that. Hey, Shellwell. Welcome. Jenny says perfectionism is something that has been embedded into us since birth, And as we grow older, we are nurtured to strive for perfection, to be pitted against each other through competition. Listen, just what I was talking about in the classroom, that competition is real, right? Even when our teachers used to give us like a curve, it was based on somebody else. This person is a top ranking person. So if this person couldn't get it, then that's the standard for everybody else to meet, right? Like, these messages are constantly thrown at us. Yeah. Hi, Sasha. Hey, yay, I caught a live. I'm glad you're here. Hey, from the UK. Hey, thank you for your content. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hi, Seeks Graphics. Right on time. Good stuff. Okay, good. And what's wild is people will pick up on your need to be perfect, and they will aid in the tearing down of your true self and then blame you for the eventual breakdown. But a breakdown is a breakthrough. I love this. A breakdown really is a breakthrough. Some of the best stuff, which is like, I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to make light of breakdowns. I also don't want to like pedestalize it, but also like, no, wonderful things have happened after I have had my breakdowns. Some things need to break down because they're not true. They're not real. They're not honest. So let it fall apart. Let it fall apart. Thank you for going live. Oh, yay. Awesome. I'm glad. Oh, happy Juneteenth to you as well. Yeah, this came to me like through journaling yesterday. I was just sitting outside and just journaling. Like, what do I need to free myself from? And I ask you the same question. What do y'all need to free yourselves from? Hi, Sophia Reeds. Yes, I agree with the savior complex as a Black woman. Yes. And we're taught that we have to save everybody. Black women are always taught that we are, like, even through well-meaning messages, right? Black women are the backbones of the community. True. Black women get things done. True. Right? Like, and so because we do get things done, it's expected of us to do the thing. And when we don't want to do the thing, or when we don't want to meet the mark, when we don't want to be bothered anymore, then we're wrong. You feel me? So yay. Hi, Marissa. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Southern Rose Tia D. Good afternoon. Finally made it live. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. All right. The next thing I want to free myself from is the labor that comes with trying to be understood and accepted. It is a burden that is not mine to carry. It is enslavement to people's ego, a hard labor sentence with no end. So for me, the labor of being understood and accepted, trying so hard to make people understand you. And the thing is, some people have made up their mind that they're not going to understand you, right? So you're doing all this labor for free. You're doing all this labor with no reward. You're trying so hard to over-explain yourself. That's labor. That's labor with no end. Because you always trying to be understood is a labor that never ceases. No one's going to be satisfied. Some people don't want to understand, but also some people, that thing that was given to you was not for them to understand in the first place. So you're trying to make sense of it before you do the thing. And some people are more visual. Some people need to see the thing for it to make sense to them. And some people will never get it. And it still doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, shouldn't be it, shouldn't pursue it, right? Let go of the need to be understood and accepted. It is too hard. It is exhausting. It is exhausting. You know what I mean? Yes. Okay. And again, it doesn't have an end. People are never satisfied. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Hi, Stephanie. My new mantra is that I am the conduit, not the source. Absolutely. You know I'm with that. I love that. You are the conduit, not the source. I love that. I really needed to hear this. Okay, good. I'm glad. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Let's learn to truly believe this and everything else will fall into place. 1000%. Like, you are exactly who you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And of course, like, this is not to say that we don't have things we can improve, or like, you know, we're not in constant learning of ourselves, right? But like, have grace with yourself day to day. You're enough. You're enough. That scripture, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. I love Psalm 139 because in it talks about how God knit us together, right? And no matter what your belief is, like, God knit you together. Even like, that means that God took God's precious time to put you together. So everything that you have is intentional. It's not a mistake. The thoughts you have, the way that you speak, the way you carry yourself, that's perfect. What God did when making you is perfect. You trying to mold yourself and fashion yourself into someone else, right? You trying to allow other people to fashion you, to mold you, right? Is having someone desecrate artwork. Like, that's like going into a museum and spilling red paint all over, I don't know. I'm going to say Mona Lisa because I don't know that many pictures, that many paintings. Excuse me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you would get arrested for that because it's already perfect. It's enough. But what we do is like, no, please throw red paint on me. Please cover me up with who you think I should be to be loved and enough. You are knit together. You are a work of art. Everything is intentional. You feel me? So yes, love that. Hi, Jenny. Forget the cape. Absolutely. Put it down. Put it down now. Hi, Sophie. Nothing is more damaging to Black women than when we self-identify with the labor heaped upon us. That part. I was listening to Toni Jones. So she is an affirmation artist, and I was watching a live from her. And one of the things that she said that she was sitting with was asking herself, who am I when I'm not being of use to other people? Who am I when I'm not being of use to other people? Because we literally define our worth and our value based on who likes us, who's approving of us, what job we have. Oh yeah, you know, when people say, who are you? The question, who are you? A lot of times, a lot of us go to our profession. We go to our role in our family, right? We don't really say like, I'm Alicia, I'm a lover of water. I love nature. You know what I mean? I love laughter. I'm Alicia, I am a sacred being. It's never that. It's always like, I'm a mom, and nothing's wrong with this, right? By the way, nothing is wrong with this. Like, I'm a mom, you know, I'm a sister, like all these different things. Like, it's about our connection to other people. And so I wrote that, and I'll share that with you all later. But I was writing down, like, who am I when I'm not being useful? And I think the reason why we seek to be used a lot, to be useful a lot, is because we don't know who we are outside of that. We don't think that we're worthy outside of being useful to other people. Like, it's been ingrained in us. You got to be good for the world. And, you know, even in Christian spaces specifically, like, it's like, go out and let your light shine. Like, your life is not your own. And, you know, like all these different messages that we're taught, it really has us, the idea of ourselves is warped because we can't see ourselves outside of how other people see us. You know what I mean? And we think we have to qualify that thing. Like, yeah, you know, well, I do like this, but I also, no, like, I like water. Why can't that be a valid response? You know? So yes. Perfection for Black women means not existing at all. Ooh, because the baseline for perfection, is not what we are by societal standards. We have to face our true selves and accept ourselves inside and out. We're enough. Period. We're enough. I have noticed as a highly sensitive person that often perfectionism is my body trying to protect me from overstimulation. Oh, okay. So I try to give myself grace as I work to break from perfection. Absolutely. Grace all around. This is not a judgment. This is, what do they call it? Like a calling in. I'm not calling out. This is not a judgment at all. Treat yourself with kind and soft hands. Yes, absolutely. Again, perfectionism is safety, right? If you're viewed as perfect, I should say, you're safe, you're protected. So these things are totally understandable. I totally understand that. Yeah. I'm aspiring to be my higher true self, excuse me, not a fragmented version of myself. So grateful for the reminders. I'm glad. And I love that. Not a fragmented version of myself, because that's what happens. When we're trying to be perfect in every situation, when we're not being ourselves, we break off pieces of ourselves. I can't be all of myself, so let me be this little piece over here, right? Then in this space, oh, I'm this kind of person. In this space, I'm this kind of person. That means that you're not living a life of integrity, number one, but also you're not being kind to yourself, because you're going to have to put on a different outfit, a different costume, because you're acting in every situation. And of course, learning to love ourselves obviously is a work. It takes time. It takes time. So yes, listening to you makes my soul happy. Oh, yay. That is so sweet. I feel like y'all be so kind. The compliments are like the best. I appreciate that. I'm learning that for some people, they are committed to their narrative of me. 1000% Ro Renee. Hey, by the way, despite my good intentions. So I'm learning how to sit in the discomfort of being the villain in someone else's story. When I tell you, accepting, like you're saying, accepting the role of being the villain in someone else's story is freeing. It sucks. And as a people pleaser, I'm like, no, I have to control the narratives of other people, how they view me. But that's me manipulating them as well. Right? Like, me trying to perform is manipulation, it's lying. And so honestly, obviously, if you harm somebody and you're sorry, you want to make well, that's fine. But if they're committed to the thing, let them go. It's exhausting. They just gonna drag you. You trying to hold on and they dragging you. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. It's hard, but yes, I'm here for that. Hi, keep it moving international. Hey, you made me cry today. Oh no. Oh, good. Okay, good tears. Okay, yes, we are enough. Yes. Hey, I love you. And it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. It's good to see you. You are enough. Yes. What's my sun sign? I don't even know what that means. I don't think. I'm an Aquarius. I don't know I hope I answered your question. I think that's what that means. But yes, I'm ready to find myself out of my occupation. Absolutely. Oh, yay. I'm glad this is safe. Seriously. I really am. I'm learning that I have to redefine myself as a Black American woman. Only I can define my identity. Yes. Don't forget to like whole you are on here. Oh, while. Excuse me. Thank you. Yes. Please, if you like the video, please like. I think that's what you were saying. Please like. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hi, Stephanie Perry. That's right. We don't know who we even are apart from what we do for others. Exactly. And so when she said that, I'm like, yo, that's very true. That's very true, which is why a lot of us find it so scary to just sit with ourselves and do nothing. Because I have to be of use to somebody. I have to do something productive, right? So yes. Those are my real answers, but telling people this always registers as lazy. Oh no. Yeah, they expect me to be a boss and it's so exhausting. It's exhausting. It is. The change that came into my life when I started identifying as something other than who I am in relation to others. Yeah. I implore all of you on this good Juneteenth day to sit with yourself and ask yourself, who am I outside of laboring, being of use, right? Serving other people. Who am I? And if you don't know, that's also okay. Have grace with yourself, but let it stick out to you. That's interesting. I can't think of anything outside of what I do for other people. You know what I mean? And literally go down to the basic stuff. Again, I say, I'm Alicia. I'm a sacred human being. I am loved by God. I love water. I love nature. I love music. I'm a singer, right? I sing, and not a singer because I'm known and I'm famous. I'm a singer because I sing. You know what I mean? I create. I'm an artist. These kind of things. Even if no one else sees my art, none of that changes. I'm a lover of hummingbirds and watermelon and you know what I mean? Get to the heart of who you really are. Get to know yourself again. So yes. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I wrote down that I'm trying to free myself from is hustling and grinding. We've talked about this a lot here, but hustling and grinding. Muscling through, forcing, rushing, working for what God has already provided and what God has already promised. Overreaching, overworking, not minding my own business, right? Working from a place of distrust and fear as if I'm not worthy of provision, rest, and abundance, right? So we talked about this last week about how rest is spiritual, and it is because I didn't trust God. I didn't trust life. I didn't trust myself. And so I felt like I was trying to outwork being broke and being abandoned, and all these different things that I've been taught over the years through people's actions, through media, through, society, school, whatever it is. Like, I'm trying to outwork me running out of worth and value. And when I really rest in God, I'm like, yo, actually, I have worth, period. Like, if I was knit together, and any knitter will tell you it's time. There are fancy stitchings, and like it's a labor of love, of enjoyment, if you like what you're doing, right? And so if I am sacred, if I was sacred in my mother's womb, why am I not sacred right now? I'm confused. In my mother's womb, I'm literally taking things from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like nutrients, food, and still I was sacred. And so because I am born now, all of a sudden that sacred like runs out. No, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. And it takes time. It takes reprogramming, because I still got to remind myself, I am a sacred human being. I do not have to put up with what I'm putting up with. I do not have to do what I think I have to do to be worthy. None of that. I'm enough right here, right now. Yes. Okay. Another thing I'm trying to free myself from is time being perverted into chains, shame, limitation, fear. So this fear that we have of time running out, or getting older, or, not being young enough, like all these different things that are pushed on us from media, from patriarchy, from white supremacy, all those things that have been passed down from enslavement, right? This idea that, again, your worth is your work. Like how much you produce is how worthy you are on paper. Like literally our ancestors they didn't even have names. They had numbers and their worth. You know what I mean? Based on the work that they output. Okay, so let me come back because that just blows my mind every time I think about it. It makes me sick. But yeah, so our worth being tied to our work makes sense because our ancestors, that's literally what it was, right? But also the older you got, there was a fear that you would no longer be productive or helpful or beneficial. And so I feel like that same fear has carried over on top of, like, again, patriarchy, all the male gaze, all the stuff we don't care about, like that we shouldn't care about. We care about it, but we should do the work to not. It's hard though, but we should do the work to not, right? We think that when we get older, we lessen in value. And I hate the phrase, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Time is a gift. God gave me time as a tool, right? For my good, my well-being, not as a shackle or a limiting belief, right? I desire to be able to take my time, to not rush, to not feel like time is running out, right? There's no rush, no waste. Time is not some judgment to be dreaded, but it is my friend. Time is my friend. We always in a rush. Where are we going? Where are we going? I want to allow time I want to repent of and stop doing this. I want to stop allowing time to be a restriction, not a precious gift. Allowing age, length, the past, the present, and time be compared to a prison. Because I'm not limited by time. This physical manifestation of this body is, but my soul is not, right? And also, like, what is time? What is time? I mean, yes, it is legitimate. There are seasons, there are time, for things. But also, like, this idea of, like, what is a good time and a bad time? We didn't come up with that. And the thing is, our soul and our bodies know when it's time, but we're often not tuned in with our bodies and our souls. And so we're doing things before it's time, or doing things faster than necessary. You know what I mean? Feeling like we're behind in life, like these kinds of things. Time is a gift. It's precious. Time is now. We cannot control anything that happened, nor can we control anything in the future. But the only thing we can do is be present today and hope that the decisions we're making today make room for a great future in the future when it gets there, right? But living for today, and that being enough. Yes, water is a necessity in every area of my life. Yes, same. People always asking, what do you do? I say nothing. You should see their faces. I love that. What do you do? Nothing. Oh, hi, miso soup on my lunch break. Hey. I'm sorry you had to work today. Just wanted to give you my love, support, and flowers. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, y'all. I'm going to go back and read the comments. I just want to, because I have a lot of things. But yeah. Same. Shout out to Trisha Hersey from the Nat Ministry, and her book, Rest is Resistance, is on my bookshelf. Okay, let's see. Your words are helping me to really let go of toxic people in my life. It is wonderful to see someone who looks like me and say it's okay to not be perfect. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. And it is. It's totally fine to not be perfect. And no one is perfect. No one. No one. I have a lot of reprogramming to do. Same. In my family, there is a lot of comparing, and sometimes I feel that I have to run in someone else's race. Yeah. Hi, Crystal. Let's talk classic hip hop with Sister Crystal. Oh, I gotta check out your channel, girl. That sounds fun. Classic hip hop. I love that. Welcome. Yes, the fear of aging is real for many people. Absolutely. We're inundated with like all these commercials, anti-aging cream, and look young and vibrant and all these different things. And it's like, y'all know it's okay to age, right? Like aging, women are allowed to age. And aging is beautiful. And again, even that, aging is a gift. How dare we feel entitled to it? How dare we dread it? Like, and I do think there is truth. Let me just say this. There is truth to how older women are treated in this country specifically. So I don't want to make light of that and pretend it's not real, because it is, right? But we can't control what other people think about us in the first place. What we can do, though, is honor ourselves and our bodies, like, for taking care of us this far. I know people who I graduated high school with who are not alive anymore. You know what I mean? I know a girl who passed away at 19. 19. Aging is a gift. My sacred place and rest is in the Most High. Yes. I keep my mind on Him and my body follows. I love that. Oh, I'm glad y'all are getting what y'all need to get. That makes me happy. Hi, Vivi Harris. I'm glad to make a live, especially about this topic. Y'all hit the like so the algorithm. Oh, yes. Thank you. Please. Yes. If you like what you're seeing, please like the video. I was about to say, if you like what you see, turn off the TV and do it. That's from Zoom. For those of you who watch Zoom. Back in the 90s. Seeks graphics. We can be so caught up in trying to keep up that we miss out on why we're actually here or the life right in front of us. Exactly. I was sitting the other day thinking about how many Americans specifically, but like Western, so like Europe and all those different things. How many of us are missing the point because we're chasing some fantasy that somebody else created for us, where we're slaving away, all these hours and working for something that never satisfies. How many of us are like not on mission because we're trying to pursue something that other people want us to do? And I feel like if all of us were on mission, I've said this before, I believe that everyone would be served. Everybody has a different calling, a different passion, a different idea of how to, one, live a beautiful life, but also improve the life of others. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be arduous. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we do is hard because we're not supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing it because we feel like we should, but we're not doing it because we want to. And I wish that we would make more room for, I'm doing this because I feel led to, as opposed to, I'm doing this because I feel like this is what I have to do. That energy is different. So yeah. I have been trying to shift my mindset from a mindset of scarcity of time to a mindset of abundance of time. Yes, it has been a huge shift. Yes. I love that. There's beauty in aging. With aging comes wisdom and self-awareness. I made a vow to myself to never be ashamed to say my age. Same. And again, I get it. Like, women who don't like to do it, I understand why they do it. Because the older you become, the more they discount you. Like, oh, you're just an old lady. You know what I mean? Like, and again, which is crazy. I'm only 33, and I say this because at 25, I thought my life was over because of the programming and messaging from the world. We're not making this up. We're like, it's nowhere in our mind that we're like, oh yeah, at 25 we're done. No, it's people telling us that if you haven't had X, Y, and Z, or done X, Y, and Z, or reached X, Y, and Z by 25 or whatever, you're finished. Especially as a singer, they tell you, like, if you're not hot and skinny and marketable as far as like being sexual and these kinds of things, if you're not young, then you don't matter. Like, you're hearing that, and so like you're looking at this age countdown, you're getting closer and closer to it, and now I've surpassed it and I feel great. I'm 33 years old, and I love women who are like, yes, I'm 85. Yes. Look at all this, right? Shout out to my Aunt Eunice. Every time I get with her, she talks about how old she is, and she'll talk about like, yeah, I'm turning 89 this year. I'm turning 90 this year, right? That's how we should be. She's like, I earned this, right? Excuse me, y'all. But yes, aging is a gift. And again, shout out to my Aunt Eunice for this gem too. What did she say? She said, I want to live until I die. A lot of us die before we're actually living. Like we're like, I'm 25, I'm 33, I'm 45, I'm 50. Oh, life is over. No, there's so much more life to experience. There's so much more life to experience. And I'm grateful for the internet, right? Because I'm able to follow women who are older than me, who are living their best life, defying these lies that your life is somehow over after this age, or after, you get married, or after you have kids, right? Because people can only see women as far as they procreate and as far as they're like attached to a man. I choose to live outside of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, just graduated grad school. Yay! Too busy and star student. I found you at the perfect time of just living slowly and more intentionally. It's so hard. It is. It's difficult at first. It really is. But I commend you for trying. And also congratulations. That's a huge deal. That's huge. Hi, LS. Yes, the what do you do question is tiring, exhausting. Somewhat of a superficial barrier toward authentic connection when getting to know new friends during early talks. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. Okay, someone got it. JB. Zoom. Thank you. Let's see. Hi, Michael Kruger Voorhees. I think that's what that says. Yes, I just quit my physically and most of all mentally draining job at Amazon last week. Congratulations. And I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. I quit without worry of what's ahead and are trusting the process. Yes. Now focusing on using my creative gift. I love that. And congratulations. And I'm sorry that it was so physically and mentally draining. I really am. It shouldn't be that way. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So the next thing I want to free myself from is having to know before I go. Sorry, y'all, I'm looking at my notebook. But having to know before I go, having to be sure, having to figure it out on my own, figure it out today. The pressure and the weight of making the right decision, the overwhelm of having to see and know the future, grace removed. I can walk hopeful and uncertain. I could not know and still go. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, right? Everybody wants you to have a plan. Sometimes I don't. I don't have a plan all the time. Like, I don't have a plan, but I just feel like this is what I need to do. And believing and trusting that that's enough. That I don't have to, again, make sense to other people, to be understood, right? And sometimes I don't have to understand it. My spirit will tell me, go this way today. I don't have any real explanation. I don't have, whatever. It just is. I'm like, okay. And I see why I need to go that way later on. You know what I mean? You don't have to have all the answers before you go. That is the lie of, again, perfectionism, but also like being palatable to other people. You know what I mean? You don't have to make sense to go. Just go and figure it out along the way. Start imperfect. Start not clear. Start unsure. Start with the one thing you do know to do. You know what I mean? Like literally that's how I live my life today. I have plans and desires, and sometimes those perfectionist tendencies come up and I got to push it back down. But for the most part, I live in joy when I'm just following my soul and my spirit every day and following God just every day. I feel lighter. I feel easier. I feel like I'm more open because I don't have to have a plan. You know what I mean? And the lie of the plan is that you can have a whole plan and the plan still doesn't work or don't turn out the way that you think. It's this false security, this false security that you're sure that what's going to happen is going to happen. The truth is we don't know. I had a plan in 2020 and everything shut down. Me and my husband were RVing in Florida, and this is right before COVID hit. And we were RVing in Florida and we had to leave. And we just felt like, I feel like God was telling us to leave Florida. And we didn't know why. And then like a month later, COVID hit and happened. Maybe like a couple of months later, COVID happened, right? I don't need to know everything. And I understand I'm not the one orchestrating this whole thing either. That pressure is not on me to have it all figured out, So yes, hi Styles by me. I'm in the season at age 45. I just don't want to miss my time of free flow. So I'm trying to honor my space and energy. Yes. And all that takes is presence. You being present, right? Always like when you watch someone's video. Ooh, tell me more. I'm sorry. I think I missed it. Hey, Concerned. Welcome. I was in that place of serving someone else's mission until I quit my last job Wednesday. Yay. Congrats. Promptly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Mrs. She said. Hey. Oh, thank you. Listen, I am becoming free, right? Like I'm free in a lot of ways, but it's putting it into practice. That's the hard work, right? Like I said earlier, it's going to cost. It costs something. It's exhausting sometimes. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like self-abandonment or abandoning other people. It feels like disappointing people, letting people down, like letting your no be no and your yes be yes, and being like, okay, please don't hate me, right? Like even though my inside is still that people pleasing part of me. I hope they don't hate me. I hope they're not disappointed. I hope like I still look good in their eyes, right? But understanding that my freedom is more important than their approval. Like keep repeating that to myself because I'm human. I care. I do care about what people think, right? But in action, I have to show myself that I honor myself more than the opinions and the approval of other people. So yeah. For real, I was a rapper and quit because I didn't make it by 30. Yeah. The music industry it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I believe that when people set the standard that they are valuable at every age, then society will follow. I agree too. If enough people said, forget this, and maybe there's still going to be some outliers and people with podcasts who would disagree, but who cares, right? Who cares about them? Like, but yes, I feel like us loving ourselves has a ripple effect on everybody else. If we're loving ourselves at every age and stage, people do follow suit. Like, oh, it's almost like you give permission to other people to love themselves. To be like, I am an elder. And you're right. This person says they matter, so I must matter too. Maybe I can take on that same thing. A lot of us, we don't know that there's another option until someone shows us the other option. To love ourselves, to accept ourselves at every stage, to not define ourselves by our age or by the hairs on our head being gray or not, or us being skinny, or, like we don't know there's another option until someone shows it to us, right? So there is deep work in loving yourself and accepting yourself for who you are and showing up as everything you are. There was a person, I cannot remember her name. Please forgive me if you're watching this, but she commented on my video and she said, thank you for being everything you are and for not being and everything you are not. And I was like, wow, thank you. Because we feel like we have to be everything, but there is even beauty in who we're not. So shout out to you. I got to go back and find that comment and I'll post it later to share. But that was wisdom. That was wisdom. Hi, Marissa. Marissa says, woo, the pressure to have everything together by 30. Listen. Listen. And it's so refreshing when I hear people who are older than me, like by 20, 30 years, be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Women in their 60s, like, girl, put it down. There's no point, right? We learn something every day. Okay. I don't know, Candace, what that means. Let's see. Candace, are you being a troll? Is that what's happening? Because we don't believe you, if that's what you're saying. I hope there's clarification. But either way. Hi, Shawnetta B. Hey. You should be excited to be aging because it is a beautiful gift. It is. It is. It really is. I'm glad. Let's see. I'm 48 years old and I am becoming more comfortable saying my age with each passing year. Yes. I'm 60. Yes. Shout out to Third Eye Nation. Come on. 64. That's beautiful. Oh, you're welcome. And yes, Zoom. Yes. The 90s, public television. Okay. Those are the days. Thank you for this channel. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. It's really inspiring to know that there are women who think like me. Yes. Same. Hi, Belle. Welcome. Yes, logic is not superior to feeling. Y'all write this down. Logic is not superior to feeling. And we've been taught that it is by you know who, right? Like logic is not superior to feeling. And that's why it really grinds my gears when people say stuff like, you're not logical, you're emotional, as if being emotional and logical are like opposite of each other, right? Like you can be upset about something that's logically wrong. Like, I don't understand where y'all getting this kind of logic from, but it's not logicking. You know what I'm saying? Hi, dear awkward Christian. Yes, to following God. He's the perfect guide. Yes. We just have to follow the order, God first. That's it. Oh, hi, Jocelyn Shaw. Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you. Shadell says false security. Yes. Uncertainty has this way of making me feel out of control, but I still have control of self. I can be certain in me. Absolutely. Like, and we have to learn to trust ourselves. First of all, we got to learn to hear ourselves, right? So that piece about like being quiet and tuning in and really asking yourself, like, and this is what I do for myself, because again, recovering people pleaser. If I didn't have to please anybody, If there was no wrong or right answer, right? If my worth or value wasn't riding on this thing, what would I do? If I could be imperfect, what would I do? If I had permission to make a mistake, what would I do, right? Removing myself from other people and tuning in first and being honest. And sometimes being honest is scary because you might say, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do that thing. And that's scary because like, oh God, what's next? If I don't want to do that, if I'm being honest with myself, like it's easier to lie to ourselves and to be honest with ourselves about the reality of our situations. Because now we'd be like, okay, now we got a choice. Now we got to find some options, So yes, absolutely. Yours truly, hi. Yes, I've done things I didn't want to do to avoid disappointing other people or letting them down. No more. Yes, because like even after all of that, after we do the thing that we didn't want to do, we might feel spite. We might feel exhausted, right? We might feel guilt for feeling bad about doing it. You know what I mean? Like we might resent the person and they don't even know that you don't want to do it, but you keep saying yes. So they think it's okay to ask. You know what I mean? So yeah, same. Yeah. And then one more thing I do want to say is that even though the fear of letting people down is real, what I also fear is letting myself down. I fear not being able to rest with myself because I've been living a life of compromise and people pleasing. Because people pleasing makes you lose yourself. It literally costs you yourself. You know what I mean? Connection with yourself, knowledge of yourself, liking yourself. Like people pleasing comes at a cost, So yeah. Oh, this feels like sisterhood in a free place. That makes me happy. I feel safe here. I'm glad you feel safe. I'm glad you feel safe. Our freedom allows others to give themselves permission to be free. Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. Oh, I'm glad. Developing that self-certainty has been tough, though. It's deep work. Yes, as you mentioned, absolutely. Can we teach this to our girls? Absolutely. I think we should. I feel like the earlier we get them, right, the better. But I feel like at any age you can learn anything. This idea of like, oh, you're older. It might be harder, right, because you have more years of programming, like to deprogram and unlearn. But yeah, everybody can learn. Everybody can unlearn. And everybody can learn again, So yes. The Dark Nate. You're so funny. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Not the GOAT. That's funny. Community in action. Absolutely. I'm literally crying seeing the freedom of our women at all ages. Yes, it's beautiful. I love that. I love it. Hi, Mara. My freedom is more important than their approval. Yeah. And that, again, I got to remind myself over and over again. Because every day I'm like, oh, well, they're going to be disappointed. If that's the reason, if I hear myself saying that, okay, what's more important? Your freedom, your peace, your joy, right? Or having other people approve of you. Which one's more valuable? And maybe the approval of other people is more valuable. Maybe you need to change your value system. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to put yourself back on top of the list. It's not a judgment. It's a judgment, not a condemnation, right? It's a judgment of where you are. Just like, hey, this is where I am. You know what I mean? And then figuring out what can you do next with that thing. You know what I mean? So yay. Oh, that makes me happy. I'm happy. Yay. Hi, Nicole. Hey, LaShawn. I always feel like I'm saying your name wrong, but hi. Hi, Karen. You're late and you're not late. You're on time. But that pressure to have everything together is so manipulative. Yes, that societal pressure makes us make choices that don't serve us, to check a box so we don't feel like underachievers. 1,000%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because who said? Who are they? They say, who is they? Where are they at? And can we have a conversation? It's always they, right? But never like, what feels right for me? Hi, the Lady Blurred. As a recovering logic-centric person, what transformed this? Logic helps organize our issues, but only with compassion can we unpack them. Thank you for that. A balanced thank you. We love that. That's beautiful. We are taught to turn away from ourselves as soon as we are useful to others. Yep. Especially as Black women. 1,000%. Thanks for the correction. Hi, Truth Rames. Because I always thought logic was corrected emotions irrational. Yeah. Thanks for correcting. Yeah. See, you're not alone, right? There is this gaslighting we do of people when emotions are a reaction to something that has happened. And so it's easier to tell people that you're emotional, or that you're illogical, or that you're irrational, right? And especially like there's misogyny in there, and then like misogynoir, like are you really believing what you're experiencing? It's a whole thing, like hysteria, right? Like anyway, so like there are so many different like layers to it. And so you're not alone in this, like, oh, because I was afraid of being emotional. I've been called emotional my entire life. I've been called sensitive my entire life, as if that is some sort of flaw, character flaw that I have. When really, no, like you're given your senses for a reason, right? When you hurt yourself in your body, when you hurt yourself in your body, when you hurt yourself, right? You fall and you sprain your ankle, right? Your ankle is in pain, not because your ankle is wrong, because it's letting you know that something is off. Something is amiss. Girl, take us to the hospital. We got to figure out what's going on, right? Your emotions are a response to something. It's alerting you to something. When you don't feel safe around somebody, your body is telling you, I don't feel safe. Your soul, your spirit, it's telling you something is off. I can't put my finger on it. I don't like it. And so because people don't have hard, cold facts, like they can't hold it in their hands, right? They'll then say, that's irrational. That's illogical thinking. No. Also, there are different kinds of logic, right? Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. We really got to revisit this conversation. But yes, like your emotions are a gift. They keep you safe. They keep you informed about what's going on. When I'm around this person, I feel small. Explore why that is. Maybe you don't need to hang out with this person anymore. You know what I mean? Or I'm upset, right? This trope of being the angry black woman. And I'm going to have a conversation about that too. Like, I'm not afraid of being an angry black woman. I am angry. I am angry for a lot of reasons. And I avoided that because like, I'm not angry. I don't want to be looked at as that. Like we're shamed into gaslighting ourselves or telling ourselves that it's wrong for us to be emotional. When no, look around. Half the stuff that's happening in this world will make anyone who's present and aware angry. And anger is fuel for change. Anger is important. But we're taught to like, oh no, downplay it. No, don't be angry. No, be angry. There's no such thing as righteous anger. You know, but a lot of people say like, oh, you're just emotional just to shut them up. You know what I mean? Just letting you know, you're not alone. You're not alone. I thought the same thing, like, oh no, I'm not. I'm emotional. It's like, yes, I am. When people, oh, you're sensitive. Yes. Okay. Oh, you're emotional. Yes, I'm human. I have emotions. And so are you. You calling me emotional is an emotional response. You're trying to protect yourself and make yourself feel bigger than me. Because you feel like you not feeling is better than me. There's an emotion of insecurity that you're feeling. You like, anyway, but we're human. So yes, we have emotions. Y'all can see I'm very passionate about that, about feelings. I love talking about feelings. But yes. If I could be imperfect, what would I do? Yes. Because you have permission to be imperfect. That pressure sets the baseline to make women feel like they have to have a man, get pregnant, take that type of job. Absolutely. 1,000%. I'm nothing without a husband. I'm nothing without children. And this is the thing, right? There are people who do desire to be married. There are people who do desire to have children. There are, right? And that's valid. But a lot of us feel pressured to do these things because that would give us worth and value. But we're worthy beyond that, you know? So yes. I'm a black girl unheard turns into a black woman who is unable to determine how to tell others how she deserves to be treated. Wow. That's dope. I need to think about that. That's dope. Yeah. Oh, no worries. Yeah, please put on a t-shirt. Yeah, yes. Actually, let me write that down. Okay. I'm glad you're able to hear it too, Camille. I'm glad. We're always for others before we can even be for ourselves. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. The next thing I'm giving up, people pleasing, which we're talking about right now. People pleasing, having to please and appease everyone, having to lose my own self and put on what others think of me. The shackles of making sense to everyone else, to be understood by all, to be loved by all. People have permission to not like me. And it's something I had to learn. I'm allowed to be disliked. I'm allowed to be disappointing to people. I'm allowed to be all those things and still love myself. That's what I mean. I'm allowed for people to not like me. I don't have to do the labor of having people to like me. Because like I said, it's an endless cycle, right? But also, I'm allowed to love myself even if you hate me. Even if you can't stand me, even if you think I'm hideous, like whatever. I'm allowed to see myself as beautiful. I'm allowed to love myself, treat myself well. But We're taught, especially black women, that other people's opinions matter more than our own, that other people's judgments matter more than our own. And black people in general, I feel like we're always playing this game of like, who's the better black? You know what I mean? Like, who's the better black? And it's a game that nobody wins. Because again, to be born black is to be born wrong. You have to mold yourself into the person or present yourself into the person other people think is worthy of love and support. And so you put down other people, you put down yourself, and you reach the status, but it's also very fragile because let you do something wrong and it's gone. You know what I mean? People are the same way. People are fickle. Today they like green, tomorrow they don't, you know? And I think that's about the beautiful thing about being human. You can change your mind, right? But let people have room to don't like you, to not like you, right? Let people have their say. That don't mean nothing about you. That could be a projection. That could be an insecurity that they have. There's so many things that you could talk like somebody that they are reminded of that they don't like. There's so many things. Letting it go is freeing. Okay. The next thing, taking the most complicated way to puff up my own ego or the egos of others. Proving that I am worthy and that I am enough. Qualifying my value and worth. Feeling pressure to celebrate and run to hard to please others. And being addicted to stress. That's a whole other thing, addiction to stress. But this idea that like, you know, if it's not hard, it doesn't count, right? Or don't take the easy way out. Like we're always taught this. And of course, I'm not for cutting corners or compromising things because that's how you get GMO foods with the issues. That's where you get, you know, the land being ripped apart. Like that's compromise. That's compromise. But there is an easy way to do things that you don't have to compromise. Easy does not mean compromised. Easy is okay. And I feel like we should do more easy things because we'll get more done. If we're always doing hard stuff, we're always going to be exhausted. It don't have to be hard. Like I said in my other video, easy is not a cuss word. Like, yes, I want to do the easy thing. Yes, I do actually want the easy way out to mine my energy and my time so that I can be available to other people or to myself. So I don't have to be exhausted to serve. But again, in this country, in the West, what is celebrated is the most exhausted person. What is celebrated is the person who got sick, saving all these other people. Like, no. And they hand clap and they move on. You can take the easy way out, I promise, as long as you don't compromise. Okay. And all that does is puff up our ego. I did the hard thing. Love me. I did it the hard way. Respect me. Honor me. Right? And then when we see someone else doing the same thing the easy way, getting the same results, we get bitter. We get upset. It's like, girl, you could have done the easy way too. Ask yourself, like, the stuff that you're doing, what is an easier way to do this? What is a more fun way to do this? More fun, right? That's English. What is a more fun way to do this? A more enjoyable way to do this? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. The next thing, I'm giving up. Actually, let me get to the comments and then I'm going to scroll down, y'all. Sorry. Just because I need to catch up. Concern says the older you get, is the more you realize that we have been duped into playing small and overextending ourselves 1,000%. We're taught that we're not enough, but then we're expected to be everything for everybody. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. It's not adding up. But yes. All right, let me go down, y'all. Hi, Her Journey to Freedom. I quit my toxic job today. Juneteenth is my liberation day. I'm 50 plus and I've decided to put my personal freedom first. I love this for y'all. Please shout out Her Journey to Freedom. Congratulations. That's exciting. And what a beautiful day to do it. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. Call it out all the time. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. What's your moon sign? I don't know. Thank you for the $2 concern. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know. I know I'm an Aquarius. I don't know what my moon sign is though. I feel like I looked this up before, but I can't remember. I'm so sorry. But yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Let me go down. And sugar, we're going down singing. All right. They do the same thing with bitter black women. Yes. So we eat crow with a smile at our own expense. 1,000%. 1,000%. Oh, you're just bitter. You're just bitter. Like all of our emotions are either boiled down to bitterness, anger. That's it. Bitterness and anger. We won't even get spicy. We just get like an attitude. Please stop. Please. Yes. Congratulations. That's so exciting. Yes, we are always becoming 1,000%. And we should have choice. Absolutely. The funny thing about logic is that is it can be manipulated. Hello? White supremacists have their logic for why they're superior when really it's all a flawed belief system based on what they feel is true. The irony. The irony, right? And people literally, to even support this idea, people have literally, that's why, whatever, we can get to it later, but like evolution, I know some of y'all are for evolution. I get it. I understand. But there's also, evolution has been used to say that black folks are less than everybody else, are less evolved than everybody else, right? And so like, they literally have to seek reasons for it because it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense, no logical sense. Anyway, racists are going to race. You know what I mean? Let me go down. Black women have a severely unhealthy expectation to prove likability, to be treated humanely. Yeah, release this. Because again, like, as a black woman, I know that because of how I show up in spaces, people are already going to discredit me. I've had people, like, looking at my comments on the videos. You're ugly. You're masculine because you have short hair. You're outspoken and that makes you masculine. And like, it's just like, bro, please. And it's always either a bro or some women. Like, it's just stop. Leave me alone. Right? Like, you don't have to like me. You also don't have to comment. You can keep going. It's okay. Because it's going to get deleted anyway. Right? Like, don't waste your time. Who's the better? Black is destroying us. Yep. It is. Like, quite literally destroying us. Destroying the people we're competing against, but also ourselves. Yay! Thank y'all for celebrating her. That's awesome. Yes. Go on ahead and get your birth chart, sis. It really helps. I'm gonna look it up. That's funny. What is celebrated in the New World? In Europe, who started all this trash? Yes. They take naps in the afternoon. Okay? We got trying to get out of Europe's shadow. Hello. Yes. Who determines what's logical? And why we got to believe it? Why can't we determine? If it was a random person, right? Like, why can't I do that? I'm confused. Yeah. Bitter, angry, or oversensitive, therefore invalid. Absolutely. Those are tactics to invalidate us. And it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. It's not going to work, you know? Oh, yeah, y'all. I've gotten some bad comments. A lot of them, too, are in the held for review. So in YouTube, you can go and it's like, oh, we've held this back to review. And usually I just delete those because they're usually just like very harmful, abusive language. But it's like some of the stuff, like, some of the stuff that people have said would have got me maybe 5-10 years ago. It might have like, dang, maybe I do need to be more feminine. maybe I am ugly. Like, just all these different things. I'm 33. Okay. Like, I know what game you're playing, and I've played schoolyard with boys my whole life. Like, it's the same tactic. You're intimidated by me. That's like, there's no like, when you start name calling, you have lost. When you're calling me names, you have lost. Whatever debate or argument we were having, you've lost, because you cannot control yourself to think of a sentence that actually supports what you believe. You have to discredit and degrade me. You know what I mean? And that's a them issue. That's what I'm learning in real time. It's a them issue. And also, it's also like, when I say, I don't know if this is nice, but this is how I feel sometimes. It's like, who told you that I have to care about what you think of me? It's like black women are always expected to care about what other people think of them. I don't know you. Random bot 305. I don't know who you are. Like, and so for you to think that your words carry weight because I'm a black woman and I have to listen to you tells me everything I need to know about you. About your politic, about your belief, about your lack of love for black women. Like, please stop. And people will come under the, well, you know, I love black women, but I just think, no buts. If it's a but, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. But yes. Hi from Lack to Legacy. Yeah, people do that. It's a lot. Yeah. Wow. It's so surprising to find a community that thinks like me. Hi. Hi, new, sunnier, and loving your spirit already. God is awesome. God is awesome. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. They need to shut up. And they do. They do. Let's see. All right. Hi, Planet Terra Art. Hello. There are documentaries about African people being the first. There's Lucy, Cheddar Man, and other oldest bones that are always African. Yeah. And so they'll use that to say, like, we are the less evolved versions. Like, oh, yeah, that might be the first. But if that's the first, then the next one is better. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of logic. But it's silly, silly, silly. Anyway. My apologies. I thought I heard you say you were 50. Oh, no, not 50. I'm 33. But yeah, no, you don't have to apologize. It's okay. There's no worries. Yes, once the name calling starts, that's when you know that you have said something they wish they had. Yeah, it's like, we don't have to argue like this. And I don't understand. Whatever. I don't like calling people names. I don't like disrespecting people. I don't have to do that. We can have a conversation and we can disagree. You know what I mean? And I feel like when I feel convicted about something, like, I said what I said. You know what I mean? And I had to learn that. I had to learn, like, no, what I said is, it's okay for people to disagree with me and me to still believe what I'm saying. Everything is not a pass fail or a lose win. It's like, we can agree to disagree, but you disrespecting me is what's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just love how you emphasize the reality that rest is productive. Yes, that practice is healing to me. I'm glad. Thanks, Alicia. Much love, impressed. Oh, thank you. Much love to you. Also, you have a beautiful voice, and I love hummingbirds too. Yay! Thank you, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. We don't care. We don't care. Okay, let me get back to my list. Okay, I'm gonna come back. All right. The next thing I want to release is professionalism and respectability. Professionalism and respectability. This is what I wrote. I want to give up having others define and determine what is appropriate for me. Allowing others to define what respecting myself or self-respect looks and feels like to me. Not putting on other people's identity or worthlessness. Not allowing my body to be a tool of classism, ableism, misogynoir, elitism in all its various forms. I am worthy of respect in all my forms. I am sacred. I am worthy of respect in all my forms. I am sacred. And I feel about the Sukihana issue that happened recently. There was a conversation. Well, we all saw what happened. Hopefully, Sukihana is an artist, and she was essayed at an event. Men were right next to her watching it happen. No one interjected. No one interceded. People were saying that, oh, she deserves it because she doesn't respect herself because of how she chooses to present in this world, right? Respectability politics get us nowhere. It is not productive. I've seen this in a meme, and I believe this to be true. Our ancestors dressed to the nines, and they were still being harmed. You presenting yourself in a way that thinks that you're deserving of respect does not guarantee you respect. And I think we should stop asking people for respect. And I'm going to bring it up. I know, listen, to me, it's not that serious, but to a lot of people, it is. The bonnet conversation, we have to revisit it. Where is this conversation coming from? This idea that if I choose to cover my head and protect my hairstyle, that somehow I'm not respectable. That means that you were looking for a reason to not respect me in the first place. That speaks more about you than it does me. Because when I see a sis out there wearing a bonnet, I don't think nothing about it. She's minding her business. And she is still deserving of respect. If she's wearing pajamas, she's still deserving of respect. Why are we qualifying who was deserving of respect and who was not? What is that about? It's about being a better black. You can't tell me it's anything else. Oh, they're setting us back. Oh, white people. What are white people? I don't care about what white people think about me. I do not care. I am not interested. I do not care. But I think we really have to, and even if you can feel however you want to feel about it, I'm not telling you that you have to accept it. You don't have to walk out the house with a bonnet if you don't want to. That's you, right? But that's your body and your choice. Me dictating that someone is deserving or not deserving or less deserving of respect because of how they choose to leave their house is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They don't need to give me a reason. They don't need to have a qualifying reason. They don't need to be mentally ill. It's ridiculous. My body is not going to be used as an example of what is respectable versus what is not. I will not harm other people by how I choose to show up in the world. What I look like? Who am I? I could be dressed. I know people who dress very well and do not respect other people and do not respect themselves. What does that mean? It's all about the look of something. Like, so yes, letting go of professionalism. So we live near DC, and there is, why is it escaping me? In Georgetown, oh my gosh, the Kennedy Center. And one of my friends invited me to go to an event there. Like, they have like a concert series. It's really dope. So if you're in the DC area, check it out. They have free concerts sometimes. And so it's on like Millennium Stage. Check it out. It's fun. So I went there, and the first question I asked my friend was, "Oh, how are y'all dressing? How should I show up?" Because it's the Kennedy Center. Like, it's where people get dressed up to go see Hamilton and go see like these fancy concerts or whatever. And my friend was like, almost like questioning me, like, "Why are you worried about what you look like?" And I'm like, "Well, I want to show up how, I guess, like what the dress code is." And she's like, that's professionalism, which is like respectability politics. I'm like, yo, that's true. I'm coming to enjoy a concert. Why am I worried about what I'm wearing and what other people are going to think about me, what I'm wearing in Kennedy Center? I'm allowed to come here. I'm allowed to be here just like everybody else is allowed to be here. Right? Like, what is professional? Again, I wrote that in my journal. I had like I'll share it later. But again, I feel like to be born in a Black body is to be unprofessional. To be in a Black body with Black speech and mannerisms and the passion, right? To be in a Black body, in a Black woman body, you're already born unprofessional. If you let your hair grow out of your head, my hair's blonde now, but if it grows out your hair all curly, I don't know if y'all can see it, like my hair is kinky, like it's curly, right? And so it would be deemed unprofessional for me to walk into a workplace as I am today. My body is seen as unprofessional. My being is seen as unprofessional. I would not want to then dare internalize that and then put that on other people. But we do, because we don't know any better. You know what I mean? So letting go of professionalism, and respectability. And then even like the definition of professionalism, I'm gonna have to talk about this a different time, but like, it's like the ability to do your job as a professional, right? Like, so even the standards we have to be professional are made up. They're based on somebody else's standards, right? Like, are people being kind to you and hospitable? And even sometimes that depends on where you're going, okay? Right? But like, I'm learning that. Let me go down, y'all. See what y'all talking about. Hi, the other MJ. Welcome. It's good to see you. Let's see. It's classism and the notion that one Black person represents us all. Yes, that mindset lacks individuality. Black people don't get the privilege of being individuals. We don't. We don't get the privilege of being individuals. We don't get the privilege of owning our own stuff, gatekeeping our stuff. Everything is for everybody else, and we're allowed to be a monolith. Everything. Woo, okay. Yes, you're looking for a reason to disrespect. Yes, like why? What? Why would I ever say out my mouth that somebody's not deserving of respect? That don't make no sense. I'm trying to be closer to whiteness. Yes. And people get irritated when I say that, but it's true. Like, we don't know what it's like not to think in terms of being under a white supremacist ideal, right? Like this idea of this being the standard and I'm down here. Like, we don't know what that's like because we live in a colonized, we live in this place. And so like, it's hard for us to come out of that thought. And even I have internalized Blackness, internalized misogynoir, internalized classism that I have to unlearn, that I am unlearning. And I'm not afraid to say that because I was born here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to unlearn stuff that has been indoctrinated, that I've been indoctrinated with. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like, if this is the standard, then of course we want to reach here because this will make us enough. And then you get there and you realize, actually, I'm still not enough. You know what I mean? Hi, E. Dunlap. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Hi, Charlene Edwards. Hey. Let's see. I will never allow another Black woman's value or my value to be quantified by someone else's standards and expectations. Yes. She is deserving because she is. She's deserving of respect because she is. Period. There's nothing else to say. Nothing. I do not care if she was standing there with no clothes on. She's deserving of respect because she is. She's deserving of protection because she is. And like this idea of women's bodies black bodies not belonging to themselves is from enslavement. This idea that everything that is seen is for other people's enjoyment and pleasure. Everything we create is for other people's enjoyment and pleasure, but never ours. You know what I mean? There's this obsession to constantly humble black women. They, both racist and some in our community, so mad that we are more and more taking back our time, energy, and sacredness. Yep. This is it. This is it, Ro Renee. That's it. They're upset. And so what do they resort to? Name calling, and throwing stones and insults. And please, black women are humble. I'm sorry. But if black women having good self-confidence is scary to you, I seek help. Seek help. Black women having boundaries, black women loving each other, loving themselves. If that's an issue for you, seek help. And I mean that because I really feel like it's like a jealousy thing. It is jealousy, but it's like, you can get it too if you do the work. Like black, for people, the stuff that people say about black men just is not true. Black men are the most forgiving people on the planet. We put up with so much. We take on more than we should. We work with people. Like, it's so silly. It's so silly. You're irritated because we finally understand, oh, I do have worth outside of what you say about me. And what do they do? Try to shame you back into it. You have to care about what I say and what I think. If enough people call you masculine, you're gonna submit and you're gonna be quiet. No, I'm not. It's not gonna work. Anyway, I think we do become individuals if we move away from society's view of us, and focus on what God has already blessed us with. Absolutely. And I'm not saying that black people are not individuals. They are. What I'm saying is that majority culture doesn't see us as individuals. The majority culture does not see us as individuals, but we are. So, like, that's why we say, like, oh, you're bringing down the whole community. How? That's one person wearing a bonnet. What does that even mean? Right? Like, so yes, I do believe that we are individuals. We are. Yes. I struggle with this a lot. I feel like I have to be beyond reproach. It's too much. It's so much pressure. It's too much. And no one is beyond reproach. That's that perfectionist lie. Like, and for black women, like I talk about, like this idea of imposter syndrome. For us, it's different. It's different, right? Because we have been taught we got to do twice as much to get half as far, right? So we're already believing we're not enough. So it's like we feel like we have to be perfect. We got to be better than our counterparts of different races or cultures or whatever, ethnic backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be better than them to even be considered like they're considered. So yes, 1,000%. Not given permission to be individuals. Yeah. IRA, the gatekeeping and policing of blackness. Yes. Oh, it's the gatekeeping and policing of blackness. Yes. Same. Same. But I don't want my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit to be a place, to be a tool, to be used to oppress other people, to degrade other people. Do not compare me to nobody else. Don't do that. Because they deserve respect too. You know what I mean? Like, don't say, oh, I wish that. No, I got issues too. I got problems too. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. You know, like we have a lot to unlearn, a lot to unpack. I am not better than nobody. Of course. It's good to see you. Don't touch her. Yeah. The silent part of the professionalism definition is the ability to produce work in a way that mimics cishet white men. Yes. That is what this. And so even though we don't know it in these words, we know it, like we feel it, that need to do that, right? And so then we think like, oh, I am not a cishet white man, therefore I am already less than. Therefore I have to overperform and overdo. Meanwhile, they're doing the least. They're doing the least. Aw. I appreciate that. I'm glad. Very much so. Very much so, Mara. Jealousy. We birth the world. Why should we be submissive to anyone's demands, especially if they are harmful to us? 1,000%. 1,000%. The thing is, like, why would I trust someone who's not trustworthy? Okay. We have every right to bask in the glow of our true selves, the growth, the changes, the peace, not muling, not begging, becoming whole, etc. We deserve this journey. Screw the noise. I love that. It's all gaslighting and manipulation to benefit them. 1,000%. 1,000%. Oh, hey, Eric Archer. Great commentary from Black Man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. There's a couple of y'all here. I appreciate y'all. It's refreshing. Trust. Trust is refreshing. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. We always have to give selflessly. Ooh, here we go. Selflessly. We always have to give selflessly in relationships and marriage without expecting reciprocity because that's humility and God's love. And this is the next line. That's a lie. Reciprocity in relationships is required. 1,000%, Coach Donna Marie. Plant your seeds. Thank you for sharing that. And it's true. Especially like, again, in Christian spaces. And I am a Christian. I'm a believer. But some of this culture, some of this church culture, Christian culture, I'm just like, yo, this is not it. This sounds like slavery. This sounds like, oh, keep giving and, you'll receive your reward. No. I want to see it today. Like, you don't have to put up with being abused and mishandled to get love. That's not God. That's not God at all. Yay. Black women, I love you. You are loved. Love yourself. 1,000%. 1,000%. Let's see. Insert name here. Hi. I need you on a platform where the world can hear you. Aw, your voice is like actual therapy. You talk like a trained expert therapist. Wow. Thank you. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. This is important. Just Daphne, thank you for sharing this. Historically, white proximity granted access and worthiness. Some people think that is still necessary. Thank you for sharing this because that is true. That's where we got it from. If we assimilate, we're safe. If we blend in, as much as we blend in, we're safe, right? So yes. So survival is a real thing. But now we have the privilege of not having to do that so much now. You know what I mean? So yes, 1,000%. See a man skilled in his work, he will stand before kings and not mere men. Ooh, speak. Let's see. This reminds me of an interview I was in last year, and the white dude was in. I think I got cut off. But yes, okay. All right, the next thing. I got a couple more, y'all, then we're going to wrap it up. The next thing. Negative self-talk. I want to free myself from negative self-talk. I think my default is negative. Like, oh, you're not doing well, or this failed because you could have done X, Y, and Z, right? Like, it's hard. But I wrote down, my inner voice has been co-opted by parasites, using my insecurities, self-hatred to fund their economy, to satisfy their bloodlust. I'll read that again. My inner voice has been co-opted by parasites, using my insecurities and self-hatred to fund their economy, to satisfy their bloodlust, to be the hands and feet of their nefarious agendas, destroying others while praising me to destroy myself. It wraps my mind with false limitations, self-hatred, and infiltrates my words to then bind others with those same beliefs. I am perfect, just as a blade of grass, as a cool breeze on a hot summer day, as the bird's song. I am perfect. Negative self-talk. Like, whose voices are they? They're not ours. They're not our voices. They've been co-opted. You know what I mean? So next time you think something bad about yourself, ask, where is this coming from? Who said that? You know? Okay. The next one. Allowing money to be the highest value, the greatest asset, my reason for living. I want to give up allowing money to be the highest value, my greatest asset, my reason for living. Right? I'm giving up making money my God. That's what I wrote down. Money is a tool. There are far more important things than money. What money affords me more easily, like health, well-being, joy, peace, community. I'm giving up allowing money to lead and guide me, and not my soul, not my heart. Allowing money to be the sole reason why I do something, not honoring my soul, my intuition, or my no, I don't want to. Allowing money to control me, and allowing the lack of it to harm my body by the mere fear and stress. I'm too sacred for that. I'm too sacred to worship money. I'm worth more than money. You understand? Like, you're worth more than money. Money can't, there's no money. You're invaluable. You're worth more than money. Money, and the money that we have here is recent. It's recent. It's new. The systems are new. You're beyond that. The next thing I said is waiting for the perfect time. Now. Now is now, and now is a gift. Tomorrow is not promised, and I live for the day. I have everything I need. Like, when I really think about it in this moment, I have things that I want. I have things that I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? But I have money that I want to, right? Like, because money is a thing, but money is not worth my soul. Money ain't worth more than I am. Money ain't worth my peace. You know what I mean? Time is not money. Stop saying that. That's not true. Time is worth more than money. You know what I mean? Like, these things that we just take in and we just believe, right? I have everything I need. I have a lot of things that I want. I have breath in my lungs, literally what I need, my blood pumping, food. What is it, like the hierarchy of needs? My blood pumping, oxygen in my lungs, food, water. I want community. I think I need community, right? But I have everything I need right now, right here. I have more than what I need. I have more than what I need. You know what I mean? And so I don't want to make money the reason why I do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, the sole reason. Like, yes, we work a job because we need the money. You know what I mean? But, like, that's not the sole reason why I do anything. That's not my all in all. That's not the end all be all. It's not. I'm not limited to money. Okay. What y'all saying? Hi, Dexter. Have a great day as well. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes, you're worth more than money. You are. You are. Ooh, capitalism says money will bring safety. Greatest ever told. Greatest, was it lie? Greatest lie ever told? Yeah. The lack of money part. Yeah. Black women are worthy. 1000%. 1000%. Let's see. Oh, I love little hearts. Yay. I had a photo shoot with a Korean couple, and they were doing this in the photo, and I was like, what is that? And they were like, it's hearts. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. That's so cute. And now I see it more often, but yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad it's resonating with you all. That makes me happy. Let's see. Go down. Okay. The Dark Knight says, this reminds me of how most of the highest paid positions, medical doctor, lawyers, real estate agents, have the highest. Yeah. No thanks. Yeah. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot. It's a lot of stress. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I want to do it because I love what I'm doing. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Greatest lie ever told. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. I don't know if anyone has taught the same thing about money here in America. All this prosperity is supposedly here, yet there are many of us who still don't have it. This is the thing. America is built on theft. On theft. Like, literally, you stole people, you stole land, you murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about that is prosperity? What about that is prosperous? And America wonders why it's struggling so much now. It's because it's founded on violence. Right? So E. Dunlap, I feel you. Like, it's like, what is happening? What prosperity? Who prospers? That's the question we should be asking. Prosperous to who? Like that whole, like, Make America Great Again slogan. Great again for who? What's going on? You know? So yes. We don't have it because it was stolen. It was stolen. And I dare even argue that it's not even prosperity, right? It's not prosperity. I think when someone is prosperous, they then in turn help other people become prosperous too. I think I have a different definition for like wealth and all this different kind of stuff. But yeah, if you're being prosperous means someone else has to lack, it's not prosperity. It's theft. It's theft. You know what I mean? So I feel you. I feel you 1000%. Oh, that makes me happy. Thank you. May we free ourselves and free our children. Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Victoria Allen. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. The imagination of the masses has also been taken. Yes. Yes. If I exhaust you, right? If I overwork you, you don't have no room to dream. You don't have no room to imagine. And that's why when I talk to people, it makes me sad. Like when I talk about these different ideas, I don't have all the answers. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying stuff. You know what I mean? And figuring it out along the way. But when people like come against me and be like, "Oh, you got all the answers, then what do you think we should do for here?" Or, if we don't have capitalism, then what else are we going to have? We can think of something else. Capitalism is an idea. This idea of capitalism in America is someone's idea. We can come together, well-meaning people, I feel like, can build a better system. I do. We just got to have space to do it. And so they want to take our imagination, so we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, absolutely. This is such a soul-nourishing place to spend my, oh, yay, that makes me happy. I hope y'all are resting, by the way, as much as you can. I know some people are working, but yes, please rest if you can today. If, for you, for your ancestors, for all of us. I would say do as little as possible on your job, depending on what job you have. Anyway, you preach. Oh, I'm glad this is making sense. Founding fathers were literally human trafficking plantation owners. Can we call a thing a thing? Where's Marcus? Call a thing, beloved. He likes to say that from, what's her name? Either way. Oh my gosh, what is the show? Iyanla, yes. Call a thing, beloved. Yes, call a thing. Iyanla also a girl. But yes, call a thing. Like, they were human traffickers. They were abusers. They were they were thefts. They were thieves. Yes. My prosperity flows from within me, not from me becoming a leech on others. That part. I'm glad. Oh, you're welcome. Thank y'all for being here and also adding to this. Like, you all are making this live too. So thank you. Yes, Black women are worthy. Period. All right. Let me come down. Hi, Renata. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip your comments. I really didn't do that on purpose. It's just that I was trying to keep up with where I was. Let me go back to what you said. I apologize. If you can you put it back in the chat? I'm sorry. I have a lot of messages. Oh, wait, let me see this. Okay, you can find rest in many ways. The rest of God comes in 3 parts. Rest from physical work, anxious thoughts, and external stressors. I like that. This is the Trinity of God's rest. I love that. But yes, if you said something else, please retype it. I'm not missing you on purpose. I promise. Okay. I was supposed to work, but that didn't work out. I love that. Love that. Chilling with my community on your live. I'm happy. That makes me happy. We must bring community back. Yes. Nourishing, loving, and life-giving community. It starts with love and goes from there. 1000%. Okay. Yes. All right. So I'm going to wrap up the last few things. I know I said that before, but here we go. Okay. Let's see. The next thing I want to give is being controlled by my fear and desperation. Believing that all I see is all there is. Right? Believing that all I see is all there is. One, I believe in God. Right? God be doing stuff. There's people. There are other resources that I'm not even aware of right now. Right? All that there is not all that I see is not all there is. There's always something else. And I don't want to act from desperation. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to act from the fear. Because when stuff like that happens, when I do that, when I act from desperation or fear, I make mistakes. I end up doing things I don't want to do, right? Settling, compromising. You know what I mean? Like trying to earn my worth, striving. It's exhausting. I want to instead work from a place of peace, of abundance, of understanding that something else, if this don't work out, something else is going to work out. I might be frustrated and I leave room to be frustrated and scared and disappointed and all that good stuff. But all I see is not all there is. There's always something more. As long as I have breath in my body, there's always something more. There's always another option. Always. Okay. And I don't want to do anything out of desperate energy. Nothing. Because I lack nothing. All right. The next thing, letting go of the guilt of saying no. The weight of being everything people dream of for me. That pressure of like letting people down and not living up to people's expectations, that people pleasing energy. But we can also feel that energy from like parents or like grandparents or family, right? Even our friends sometimes. Like, I don't want to carry the weight of meeting other people's expectations, even if it's from a well-meaning place. But it can be heavy. That thing is heavy. You know what I mean? So yes, letting that go. Being anxious, like for people to approve of what I'm doing. Like God could be calling me to do something different, right? And I'm like over here trying to please all these people and I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, wondering what's wrong with me. And the whole time it's not me. It's the expectations that were put on me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's heavy. It's exhausting. Okay. The next thing, asking permission to live, to celebrate, to allow someone the room to quantify my worthiness. Hard work being the cost for ease and joy. I woke up, so it's mine. I woke up, so ease and joy is mine. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to ask permission to live, to have fun, to enjoy myself, to play. I don't have to answer to nobody but God. I mean, yes, I'm responsible to other people or held accountable by other people. Yes, in my community and those kinds of things. But like, if I'm not harming nobody, I'm going to have fun. And by harming people, I don't mean they're not approving of it or they don't like it. That's not harming. That's a them issue, right? I'm talking about like harming, like hurting somebody. It don't hurt nobody for me to have fun. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to allow people the space to tell me what I can and cannot do because I haven't done X, Y, and Z yet. What? It's like, when we're growing up and our parents tell us, oh, you can't go outside until you clean your room, right? It's like we carry that idea with us, that energy with us, this idea of like, oh, I can't have fun until I labor. I can't have fun until I stress myself out. I can't take a break until I've done all I can do. You know what I'm saying? Until I'm wore out. You don't have to do that. We're not kids anymore. We're not children anymore. Okay, the last two things. Using fun as a reward. I think I already said that, but this is further explaining. Using fun as a reward and treat for hard work and misery. Withstanding miserable conditions instead of making fun, joy, and pleasure the way. Right? So I'm going to read it again. Using fun as a reward and treat for hard work and misery. And withstanding miserable conditions instead of making fun, joy, and pleasure the way. We think that we have to make things hard, like we talked about before. It has to be hard to count. But also, like, you can still do what you have to do, and it can still be fun. You can make it fun. If you know you got to work out, for example, work out in a fun way. Go dancing. That's a workout. I sweat when I go dancing. Like, if I didn't sweat, I didn't dance. You know what I mean? Dancing, roller skating, swimming, right? We don't have to do things the hard way all the time. Fun, joy, and ease can be the way, not the reward. I think God wants us to live from a joyful place, right? There's so many joys that we have available to us, and we keep opting in for suffering. We keep opting in for things we don't like. We canceled the gym membership, y'all. Shout out to us. It's been a long time coming, but I don't like the gym. But I kept trying to make myself a gym rat. Alicia, you're not a gym girl. It's okay. It's okay, right? Go dancing, go walking, go frolicking in the forest. You know what I mean? That makes me happy. Go swimming, go dancing, right? I bought some roller skates and they should be here today. I'm excited, right? Like finding the fun way to do the thing. Fun and joy and ease and pleasure can be the way you do something. It doesn't have to be the reward. I hope that makes sense. Okay. The last thing I wrote down, I'm probably going to have more later, but the last thing I have right now is shrinking down my desires and goals to fit the small visions of others. I'm giving up allowing people the right to dictate how much space I can take up, how much room I have, how much permission I have to dream. So again, I'm giving up shrinking down my desires, my goals to fit the small visions of others and their own perceived limitations, right? Like, again, sometimes people they don't mean you any bad. They don't mean you any like ill will, right? Some people just want to keep you safe. And so they will say things to you like, don't do that because this might happen. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, give them grace. They love you, right? But then also people come from the other side and be like, you're not worthy of this thing. You know what I mean? You're not worthy of this desire. That's silly. That's stupid. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Don't give people that room to do that. You cut off that boundary. And sometimes that means not telling everybody everything you're going to do. It sucks. You want to be able to share everything, but some people can't handle it. And this is not a flex and it's not a slight at them either. They're just not ready to hear it yet. You know? So shrinking down my desires and goals to fit the small visions of other people, right? And I don't mean small to be cruel. I mean small to be like, some people have fears that they cannot live beyond and they're projecting those fears onto me. Those perceived limitations onto me. I don't have to adopt it as truth, and neither do you, right? I don't want to allow people to dictate how much space I can take up, how much room I have, or how much permission I have to dream. I feel like with God, I'm limitless. I am limitless. I can do anything. I can do anything I want to do. You know what I mean? And even saying that, I have thoughts that are coming like, can you do everything? Yes. Everything that God gave me to do, that God has inspired me to do, I feel like I can do. It might not look like what people expect. It might not look like what I think it has to look like to be, but I can do anything. I can learn anything. I can do anything. I just choose to do the things I want to do, you know? I can do anything. I can have a concert right now. I can plug up I want to put on a concert. Someone might say, oh, well, you don't have the stuff that people need to have a concert. What venue are you going to have it at? I have YouTube. I can plug up my machine right now and sing and have a whole concert. I can do anything. You can do anything. You can. You can. I really believe that we're given the ability to dream because if we can see it, we can do it. We've heard this over and over again. It's true. If you can see it, you can do it. Even if you dream of doing nothing, right? Like, it doesn't have to be grandiose. It could be like, I dream of resting today. And the fear might say, the world is going to fall apart. The sky is going to fall. You know what I mean? People are going to be pissed. Your boss is going to be mad. And they may be. And because no one's saying it's going to be removed from consequences, right? But you can do anything. You can do anything. And so I have to keep reminding myself I'm capable of anything. And I want to make room and give myself permission to dream. Because we're talking about Juneteenth, we're talking about ancestors, like we're talking about like just having a day to really sit and reflect on freedom, on the cost of freedom, what it cost our ancestors to make us free, right? And what it costs us to be free. Because freedom comes at a cost. It does. And the cost might be people misunderstanding you, people putting you down, people disrespecting you. You know what I mean? But you got to be so committed to your freedom that you're willing to do what it costs. We're like, and it's not even to compare tragedies, but when I put it in perspective for myself, my ancestors were afraid of losing their lives for freedom. And we're talking about just existing. We're not even talking about like big dreams. We're talking about existing. They were afraid of losing their lives for freedom. And I'm like, and again, it's valid. My fears are valid. And I'm like, well, I want to do the thing, but I'm afraid of what they're going to say about me. And I'm not making light of it because it's real. Like I said, it's real. But they worked so hard so that I could actually feel that fear instead of the fear of losing my life. That's a privilege in itself. The fear of I'm afraid of what they're going to say versus like I'm afraid of losing my life. Right? That's a privilege. Even our fears are privileged. And we have them, right? Because of the people who got us here. And so I want to honor them. I want to honor them by honoring my fear. Yes, by seeing it and respecting it, talking to myself nicely and kindly, because we're not shaming ourselves, but also being like, you know, saying our ancestors' name, Barbara Neely, right? Elizabeth Stewart. These are my ancestors. Carl Neely, right? Carl Neely Jr. Maureen Stewart. Like these are people whose blood flows through my veins, right? And I want to honor them with how I live my life, how I show up, taking up space that they were too afraid to take up because they could lose their life. My great-grandmother, who I knew, was born in 1912. I can't even imagine what she has seen, what she has experienced. My mother says, like, when she passed away, so she lived through the Great Depression, like, she lived through so much. And, like, my mother talked about when she passed away, like, there was money that they found in her room. And I'm like, wow, like, even how she showed up in her life was affected by the trauma that she experienced that she never spoke about. She never talked about that. And there are stories that I'll never hear, I'll never know. And the thing is, I don't have to know them to honor them. They worked too hard to get me here. And it doesn't mean that I have to then enslave myself to other people's opinions. Like, when I really think about it, when people make light of enslavement, and they make it seem like it was so long ago, it wasn't. And then the ramifications of it, we still feel today. Hello? So then I'm like, whatever. So I think about her being born in 1912 and how new her freedom was. You know what I'm saying? She probably knew people who were enslaved. How new her freedom was. And here I am, fearful. I feel like I'm going to cry. Fearful of what people going to say. And I'll never know her fear. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. I am because my ancestors are. I honor my ancestors. I honor you. And I pray. My hope is that you hear what I talk about. I'm trying to free myself from, and you think about it for yourself. Maybe you resonated with something I said. Maybe you have other things you want to free yourself from. Maybe you have ancestors whose names you need to speak, to feel, to be reminded of, right? That they, even people you never met, like on my ancestry, I have like an ancestry tree that I'm putting together. It's a lot of work, by the way, but a lot of work. But my ancestry tree, seeing those names and the dates and the paperwork, making it real that these people are not just like some imaginary people who made me. Like, no, I see their names and their faces. And then I think about all the people who were enslaved, whose faces and names I'll never know, whose faces and names weren't seen as good enough to keep record of. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. And I think about that. And I think about all the freedom I have, even, talk about platform or whatever, like this, I'm grateful for this, but it's just like, I'm living for me, my God, my people, but I'm also living for those people who are nameless, who I'll never know. Sorry. Excuse me. I mean, I'm not sorry. Excuse me. But yes, I just hope that you are called to do the same, to do some reflection, reach out to somebody in your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have a conversation. But I pray that you actually revisit this idea of freedom, what that looks like for you, right? How you can set others free by loving yourself, being yourself, right? And then also unraveling yourself from the remnants of enslavement, of white supremacy, of capitalism, which was founded on the owning of other people's bodies, the theft of other people's land, right? And nothing from that can be good. I'm sorry. That's what I believe. Nothing from stealing, enslaving folks can be good. And so we're carrying this stuff with us, like respectability politics and all these different things that don't mean us any good. And we're holding on them for dear life when they took the lives of others. Right? Don't let it take your life and your light away from you. That's my hope. That's my prayer in all this conversation, is that we start to really look at how we're also enslaving ourselves and how we're also like being wrapped up in a system that doesn't mean us any good, and that we free ourselves and other people. Yeah. Okay. I think I gathered myself. I'm very emotional, so yeah. I'll continue to shout that I'm the proud descendant of my ancestors who survived the unsurvivable. That what we read about in textbooks, it's 1,000 times worse than what we read about. It's 1,000 times worse because, one, who is telling the story? They benefit by not telling the truth. It was 1,000% worse than what we imagine. And that's why I hate when people be like, I am not my ancestors. Like, it's some sort of flex. Like, oh, I'm girl, sit down. That's so disrespectful. You are because of your ancestors, Okay. So yes. Abraham Taylor and his mom, Delia, I hope I'm saying that right, escaped Zachary Taylor's plantation before the Civil War started. Shout out to them. We speak your name, Abraham Taylor and Delia. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm tearing up. My grandmother went through so much in Mississippi. So grateful for all of her sacrifices. Yes. Yes. Ooh, fear is a privilege. It means you dare to have a dream, hope, yearning for vision only shown to your my sacred self. Yeah. Fear is a privilege. Yeah. I'm glad. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for honoring my tears. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for honoring them. Yes, I took a nap without feeling guilty for the first time in a while because my body is exhausted. That within itself is liberating. Rest. Yes. People forget Harriet Tubman died 1 year after the Titanic sank. That was yesterday, y'all. That was yesterday. Me too. Like, get over it already. Girl, huh? In my imagination, I dream and hope for a day that like-minded Black peoples globally can come together, build ourselves up, and have our own system that works for us overall, detached from Western approval. Me too. Same. And I feel like it can be done. We have to be willing to put down the tools that enslave us, right? Audre Lorde, where is the essay? Audre Lorde has an essay and she writes, you can't dismantle the master's house with the master's tools. The book is somewhere in here. It's a mess. Either way, you can't dismantle the house with the master's tools. We cannot use the same things that harm us to help us. We have to be willing to put it down. Right? Yes, happy Juneteenth. Yay, yay. Thank you. Thank you, Robinette. I appreciate that. And thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm trying to correct my language. I'm not sorry. Excuse me, because I have to wipe my eyes. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you. The Dark Nate. This is why I can't. This is why I can't. Those I am not my ancestors Negro. If they only knew. If they only knew. Like, people were choosing death instead. Like, almost like, are y'all okay? Are y'all all right? People thought that death would be better than. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. I feel you. We're the dream and the hope of the slaves. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I have pictures of my ancestors fresh out of slavery. Wow. I look at them and am filled with gratitude. Even my nameless ancestors, even on the soil. Yes. Grateful for their sacrifices. Yes. 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 Yeah. You can set others free by loving yourself and being yourself. That's it. That's liberation work. That's liberating. Like, just think about it. There are other people that I watch online and I see them living free, and that frees me. That frees me. You being free, you being yourself, that's all that's required. Like, we look at, and I honor them. We look at the Harriet Tubmans and all these people, right? Like, they're like, no, like, you being free, like, your body can be a place. Like, just like Trisha Hersey talks about, right? Like, who you are is enough. What you're doing is enough. Oh, I appreciate that, Jocelyn. Thank you. So true. Chattel slavery was not too long ago. No, it wasn't. It was 2 85-year-old grandmas ago. Exactly. Exactly. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Oop. You, dear heart, you served the people today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. And thank you for listening. I appreciate you sharing space with me. Thank you. And making room and honoring my tears and all of my emotions and all of my expressiveness. Excuse me. Expression. Yeah, never forget. Never forget. Yes, never forget. I have thoughts, but yes, never forget. And to think those ancestors we didn't know were just like us. Yeah, they were us with all of our hearts and dreams, but held down. Us, but not allowed to be us. Yeah. Yeah. The reverence we should have when speaking of them. You know what I'm saying? I am them. That's it. I am my ancestors. Their blood still pumps through my heart. 1,000%. 1,000%. Aw, I appreciate you. We must remember and honor our ancestors. Yes. And the question is, how are you going to honor your ancestors? How are you going to honor the ones that came before you that got you to where you are today? The ones whose names you know and the faces you know and the hands that you've touched, right? The laughter you've shared, but also the ones who have no names and no faces. Because again, someone didn't see them as worthy enough to have hands and faces. Names and faces. You know? I'm right. I'm important because God created me. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's enough to know I am worthy because he thought enough to love and create me. And so are you all. Yes. You did nothing to be loved and deserving of life and blessings. Exactly. And you don't have to do anything to be loved. Right? I love that. The Comfy Bagel. First of all, I love that name. Cozy. Oh, thank you, Ev Evolves. Thank you. Or Eve or Ev. Ev Evolves. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Honor yourself. Yes. You honor your ancestors by giving yourself what they never had. Take care of you. Yes. Double down on joy, on adventure, excitement, rest, right? Community, all the things, all the things. Honor to my ancestors who were attacked by dogs as infants and left on their parents' doorstep. Sorry. Excuse me. Our ancestors prayed for us today. I feel it even though I never met them. 1,000%. I definitely believe that I'm living on my great-great-great-great-grandmother's prayers. For real. Where did that quote about the master's house? Audre Lorde. Let me actually look it up so I can quote it correctly. Masters. Yep. The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. By Audre Lorde. Give me 1 second. There's also a book. I need to read more books. But yes, it's by Audre Lorde. On that Audre Lorde note, the uses of the erotic essay. Yes. Ask women how to bring joy back into their lives. Yes. Okay. So Yes, I'm finishing up the book. It's not a heavy read like her essays, but it's very meaty. And so I'm taking my time to go through it and highlighting and writing because I want to come back and talk about it with you guys because I'm obsessed with Audre Lorde right now. So yes, leading lady, I'm with you. Yes, our ancestors. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It is theft. That's it. It's theft. Oh shoot, shake the table, Jessica. In a way, they are right. They don't have an eighth of the grit of their ancestors. Wow. Wow. You mean to say becoming a black free person? No, woman, because I'm a woman. That's what I mean. Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who are oppressing them. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. My great grandma is history. Period. Period. Yes. Happy Juneteenth. Same. Same. We went to Playa del Carmen. I've been looking up Airbnbs in Playa del Carmen for like 2 weeks. Like, I want to go back. Yes. Religion teaches to honor your ancestors as witchcraft. Okay, but to this though, in the Bible, there are a lot of ancestors mentioned. When they announce themselves, I am such and such, son of such and such, son of such and such, son of such and such, from the tribe of such and such. Like, ancestral honoring is still in there. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting to me that people are like, oh, it's witchcraft. How? God cares about the ancestors. I'm confused. Like, so yes, I'm here with you. Slavery is still going on. Yes, that part. Let's be real. Slavery is still going on. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yes. I love me and strive for my most whole, authentic self to honor mine because they couldn't. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, you're welcome. So thankful for you and your journey. I'm on the healing road back to myself. It's emotional and very hard work. Yes. Yes. Same. I just visited Isla Mujeres, Mexico. The happiest people I have ever seen, minus the material mindset of the same. We when we were in Playa del Carmen, we went there. That's where we went. We went on a catamaran. Oh, I felt so fancy. But it was a catamaran to Isla Mujeres, and gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful. The people there, like, even on conversation with people. So it was like we got like a slot on like a boat, and we were there with like 20 other people on the boat. It was fun. And it was like able to feel like luxury without like the actual cost of luxury. Like, and I'm not talking about just because it was in Mexico, but because we were sharing space with other people. And so we were on the boat, and even in conversation, like just the way that people who don't live here think, beautiful. It's like, yeah, enjoy yourself. Have like, and obviously like it's, it's tourism, but it's also like the mentality is just different. I have a lot of thoughts that I haven't processed, but yes. May we all be better so they can be satisfied with what their work allowed us to become. I love that. May we all be better so they can be satisfied with what their work allowed us to become. 1,000%. Thank you for sharing this. Continue to fight for freedom. Thank you. Like, and that's the thing. We talk about like freedom and enslavement and all this other stuff. We forget about people who are incarcerated. So thank you for sharing that. Continue to fight for freedom. I fight to free those from slavery 2.0, the prison system, excuse me. I bring attention to mass incarceration and wrongful convictions. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. One thing that is freeing me is reading. Remember, slaves could not read. They were not allowed to. Like, they could lose their life to read. So I believe we keep ourselves in slavery if we don't read. Happy Freedom and Liberation Day. Yes, my dear people. I love you all and send you positive energy. May we all be prosperous for our families and our communities, love and light and more. Yes. You're welcome. I did say woman because I'm a woman. You know what I mean? And this is about a journal entry, that I wrote in my own journal. So yes, becoming a free Black woman. And yes, you can also take this on. However you identify, please take it on. Please. I would love that. Yes, I love that book. Yes, Sister Outsider. That's what I'm reading. Yes, Sister Outsider. Yes. May we all be protected by the prayers that covered our people and their hope for us. I love that. Genealogy. Yes. Absolutely. Hello? Jesus came from all the way back. This person and this person and this person. Like, ancestors are important to God. We got to stop. We got to stop. Slavery is still here, but it's more, yes. It's more mental and also physical, but yes. I struggle to find the balance between resting for my ancestors and using my freedom to achieve things they never could. Ooh, I would just ask where the, and hi, by the way, I would ask myself like where your definition of achievement is coming from. It's just something to think about. Like, do you think your ancestors want you to do more things? You know what I'm saying? Or do they want you to love yourself and for yourself to be enough? And I'm not saying you can't do anything, right? If you feel led, like we're talking about freeing people who are fighting mass incarceration. Where'd it go? Okay, yes. Yes, mass incarceration, right? So like, yes, if you feel led to do that, I say do the thing, right? But also don't put that pressure on yourself to try to prove something or prove your worthiness to your ancestors. I'm sure your ancestors are fine with you resting. Like, what do you think? That's something they couldn't do. You know what I mean? They literally could not do that. And I also think that sometimes our definitions of achievement are also based in capitalism, white supremacy, all those things, you know? So yeah. But I feel you. I get you. Yes. True. It's nothing wrong with honoring your ancestors. He even said, honor your mother and father. That's true. That's true. Which is the form. It's only witchcraft. If you worship them, nothing wrong with, yeah. And again, I respect everybody's beliefs, but yeah, I believe in honoring my ancestors. I do. I will always honor and respect my ancestor, even the ones in the soil, because their sacrifices were and are immeasurable. Excuse me. We have hard times now, but we have no idea how hard it was back then. Listen, we have an idea of what it was back then. And even with that idea of what it was versus what it really was, it's scary. It's a lot. I literally cannot imagine. I literally cannot imagine. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, yay. The book, hold on. I think I have it right here. It is, yep. Sister Outsider. Essays and Speeches by Audre Lorde. Sister Outsider. I am almost finished. I have like this much to do. But when I tell y'all, I am highlighting, note-taking. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And I'm just like, yes, she gets it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good. All right. Oh, I'm glad. The gift and point of freedom is to explore options and see what fits you. Yes, that's it. Yeah, I'm about to head out, Jocelyn. I am. I'm literally on Facebook talking about this topic before I even saw you were live. Oh, awesome. And hi, Mocha Mommy. This is amazing and just lets me know I'm in alignment today. I was saying how slavery never ended. Black women are still muling. Ooh, speak about that. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yes, embracing frolicking lifestyle. I love that. If so, I hope you have a day that gives to you as you give to us. Thank you. Bless you for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. My emotional behind cried when you said your ancestors probably want you to rest. Yeah. Yes. And just like Jocelyn is saying, it's healing. Go ahead and cry. Okay? Cry. Yes. I say get Sister Outsider, because after I finish this, I'm going to be coming live. We're going to be talking about it. And I also want to hold like meetups and stuff to talk about some of the topics. Like when I tell you like juicy. Okay? I don't know if y'all can see that, but if it'll adjust. Anyway, it's a lot of writing that I've done in the margins of the book because it's so good. It's so good. Yes, it is. Growing up, if I were sitting down doing nothing, I would be yelled at to find something to do. Yeah, a lot of us were. For a long time, I struggled with hearing that in the back of my head, feeling like I should always be busy. Yes. This talk was much needed. Oh, I'm glad. I'm really glad. I'm so glad. We connect. Oh, you're welcome. And you're welcome. Thank you. We connect to our ancestors through reading too. I love that. Yes. Thanks for sharing Miss Lorde's writing. Looking her up now to add to my library. Absolutely. Okay. So I've said that like, I want a mentor, right? I was like, I so desperately want a mentor. And I'm like, girl, go get a book. Read the thoughts and the experiences of other Black women who work in liberation work. Like for real, like, Audre Lorde has been saying, so this book came out, what year? Well, some of the speeches and writings came out different times. So one essay came out. So Poetry is Not a Luxury is one of my favorite ones. And this came out in 1977. So some of these like essays were written in the 70s and 80s. But like she's saying the same things that people talk about online today. You know what I mean? Like this idea of like decentering men and like even stuff that goes on like in the manosphere. It's like, wow, things really have not changed. And that makes me sad, actually. Come through, highlighted notes. Thank you. Listen, all day, all day. Yes. Okay, awesome. I didn't have the capacity for it before, but I think I do now. So I feel like we're going to do it. This chat is giving me chills. Ancestors are being appreciated today. Yes, as they should be. That makes me happy. Yes, please do. And again, it's a hefty work. And I think for me, it took a minute to get used to her writing style. But after I got used to it, because every time I start a new book, I have to get used to the writer's style of writing. But after I got used to it and like, again, sitting with it for a second, I would read an essay, sit with it, think about it, chew on it, and then move on to the next one. Because it's hefty. It's meaty. Today, I chose to work remotely, doing work in small increments, taking time to honor self and rest my mind and spirit. I love that. Oh, the name of the book? Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. Mine looks the same. Yes. Okay, I will. I'm getting that. I believe all our writing and books hold the answers we are looking for. 1,000%. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Let me head out to local book. Listen, okay? Yes. Will you be doing any in-person retreats in the future? I will, and I'll be sharing that information soon. But yes, absolutely. Hi, Let Me Ride. Do you feel as though Black men suffer the same stereotypes as their ancestors did? Having to be strong, always leading the family. Yes, I do. I do. I think that patriarchy is awful to everybody, and including men, and especially Black men too. Like, and I also feel like there's like this fetish that happens with men, especially Black men, about how they have to show up and, you know, be what people describe as like, I don't know. I don't want to use that language, but like a buck, these kind of things, like that kind of, yes, absolutely, 1,000%. And I think that a lot of them are playing into that to their detriment and to the detriment of others. So yes, absolutely. Yay, awesome. Okay, awesome. I feel like reading these works and writings are like sitting at the feet of our mothers, grandfathers, and aunties. So valuable. When I tell you my favorite people are older people, I love older people. I'd be like, tell me everything. Like, just tell me everything. Alice Walker spoke on the importance of mentorship. She found some through Zora Neale Hurston. I love that. Speaking and honoring ancestors. She went out and found Hurston's lost, unmarked grave. Wow. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah. Absolutely. Reading is power. Look into experience in the written word. Absolutely. Rest is priority. 1,000%. Yes. Absolutely. And yes, even if it's just like listening, like I listen to Audible all the time. Like Audible, Kindle. I have a Kindle. It's up there because I'm trying to downsize, but I love books. So I'm trying to like to do a better job at downsizing. But yes, reading is like one of my favorite. Reading and journaling and sitting outside is my favorite thing to do. If I could do that all day, I'd be happy. Reading, writing, and sitting outside. I'm good. With good food and good drinks, water, I'm happy. Yay. I'm excited. Mokomami says, I love Audre Lorde. Yes. As a Black lesbian poetess, please correct me, with some feminist, womanist views, she literally speaks to me. Yes. I'm working on a poetry book now. Yay. And I'm hoping my words will touch Black women like she has. And they will. They will. I would love to community. Yay. Me too. I want more community too. Yeah. Yes. Me too. Set up a blanket and just read and write. Yes. I've been noticing that a lot more lately. Yeah. I love the resting in nature. Yes. Walker also published some of Hurston's books. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Journaling with nature is pleasure. It really is. And nature has so much to teach us. Like you can learn from just watching. Just sitting there and watching. Nature has so much to teach us. I agree. Yes. Okay. Well, we have reached the end of our comments. Oh, wow. Okay. That's dope. Thank you for sharing that. Lunashi? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Please forgive me if I'm not. Please correct me. We wouldn't have a Barracoon had it not been for her. Okay. I did not know that. That's awesome. I still got to read that too. But yes, yes. We went to a festival in Florida, Eatonville. They had the Zora Neale Hurston Festival in Eatonville, and I like the idea, the execution of it. I wish it was more, and I wish it was well known. But it was really exciting because like their theme for that year was like Afrofuturism, and so I'm gonna get back down there and check it out again. But yes, they have a whole festival, like events, people coming up, like history. They have a couple of museums. Yeah, it's dope. But yes, yes. I'm reading, writing, and going outside. Good food and drink, and don't let it be some peaceful. Hello, if you give me a beach or like a tranquil stream or a river, good to go. Good to go. Yes, listening definitely works. Listening counts as reading, y'all. It counts. Like even this idea of it has to be in a book to be legitimate. We come from a people with oral tradition. You know what I'm saying? A lot of indigenous nations, peoples have oral tradition, like writing, paper. That's kind of new, right? So like the stuff that we're listening to still counts. The stories the stories that are being told still counts. But yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Yes, you all have a beautiful day as well. Okay, so we are the same person because I swear I just love to sit outside with some good lemonade, listen to nature, read, paint, and just feel the breeze. Yes, like, can I just be what I do for a living, please? Please. You're welcome, Marissa. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Yes, yes, yes. And please check out Marissa's channel, y'all. She talks a lot about this too. Like, yes, yes, her channel is dope. And if you're also, please share your stuff if you are a creator as well. We'd love to support you. And yes, please plug your book, Mocha. I'm going to support. Same. I'm from Detroit, but that's why I always felt connected to the South because I'm drawn to that slow living. Good food, a cocktail, and a blanket by the lake, and a good book. I'm moving to Houston. Congrats. Way to like create the life that you actually want to live. And also like a lot of people from Detroit are from the South, right? So like that history, you know, I don't know like your history, but yes. I would love to build a community in the woods near a lake and trails. Daphne. Just Daphne. That sounds amazing. My grandmother started the Zora Neale Hurston Society. Wow. She's 96 this year. A living legend. Yes. And still living her best life. She goes to that festival as a legend because she is. That's dope. That's amazing. We should go. I got to see when it is next. Let's go. Before you step away from us for the day, how do you come to the questions you pose for yourself? They're always wonderful, and I could use some journaling prompts. Oh, wow. Oh, thanks for asking. How do I come to the questions? Asking why a lot. I'm in my head a lot, and I think writing helps me to like process my thoughts and my ideas and my opinions. But asking why a lot. Like for this whole thing, you know, we're celebrating Juneteenth, obviously, today. And, you know, the theme is freedom. Right. And so I use themes, I use nature, I use thoughts that pop up. The thing is, I think that I'm going to say this. I think that a lot of times we look outside of ourselves. And this is not to you, Shadell, also, by the way. Also love your hair. But anyway, we look outside of ourselves all the time for answers when a lot of it is just like in here. And we just need to get quiet enough to hear it, to read it. Like we are a textbook. Like even like with the stuff that I put on, like the events or the memberships and all these different things, the programs. Like, I don't want people, and not saying you're doing this, but I never want to become the person that I think people have to come to for the answers. I want people to come from themselves with the answers, like to go within themselves to seek the answers, to go away with God and to sit. And for me, these questions come up when I'm quiet and sitting, when I'm sitting down and having a thought and like, oh, let's explore that. What is that? Right? Talking about freedom. The next thing I'm going to journal is what is the cost of being free? What is the cost of being a free Black woman? Am I willing to pay that cost? Right? Am I willing to have people discredit me, misunderstand me? Am I willing to be ostracized from a culture that is about hustling and grinding and all this extra stuff, right? Like these kind of things. And I think when we sit in quiet, those questions come up, those thoughts come up, and we get to explore those things. So that's how I do it. You can also buy, of course, there are journaling prompts we can follow, and I could share more if you all. I could do that, like share more journaling questions just to think about, ponder, you know, to imagine. Like even for myself, what would it look like if I didn't have to work for money? What would it look like? And even beyond that, like what would it look like in a society where money didn't exist? I want to have events like that where we come together and imagine together. Like how else can we live our lives? You know what I mean? Anyway, but yes. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, please re-ask. Let me know. But I hope that helps. Oh, bye from Lack to Legacy. Yes, yes. Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. This was a meal for me as well. This was nourishing for me as well. So yes. Ooh. Yes, yes, of course. It could get there. Yes. True. My great grandma is from Alabama. Yeah. Yeah. I like there's so many ancestors. I just want to be like, what is your story? What is your story? How did this happen? Yes, happy Juneteenth, and thank you. Thank you so much. Aw, Ruth Sheffy, we speak your name. That's beautiful. Ruth Sheffy. I hope I'm saying that right. But yes, yes. Beautiful. I'm glad. Come on, 96. The Great Migration is the reason most of us are scattered. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, honor to your grandmother for sure. Oh yeah, of course. Thank you for using your live for your voice for this live. Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, it's cute. Your hair is cute. I just happened on your channel and I love this combo. Great. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. I'm like, you're right on time, but I'm loving this live. I don't catch them often, so I just watch your videos. I love what you do. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yay. Yes, please, y'all. Check out Marissa Price. First of all, this is opposite. It's mirrored, but Marissa Price. I had a feeling you'd say it came from silence. Yes. And stillness. You've been speaking on. Yeah. Trying to remember that everything I need, I have is within me. Yes. Yes. And when it's time to reach out and ask for help, like, I feel like those options will pop up. You know, the books, right? That I just happened to come upon in the books. I wasn't looking for this book. I was just in Barnes and Noble walking around like, I need a new read. I need a new book like every week. I don't, but it's a problem. That's why I have the Kindle. But I'm like, I need a new read. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. And I got it, right? And I'm starting to read and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is talking about everything that I'm thinking about right now. Like, I really do feel like God gives us the answers, like, and gives us the things. We just got to be open and receptive, to see those things. So yes, yes. I will definitely watch the replay. Yay. I would love to read some poetry to you one day. I would love to hear it. And get your honest opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Oh, you're welcome. Y'all are so welcome. Y'all are so welcome. Yes. The wisdom is internal. Yes. Internal. Absolutely. That like ancestral wisdom that like, I feel like all of it is there. All of it's there. We got God. Like, we have this body of text, right? Like this body of information that we can tap into to get the answers we need, you know? So yeah. Oh, I love y'all too. Thank you. Yes. Enjoy the rest of your day, you all. Yay. Oh, Marcus, thanks for hanging with us. I love you. Happy Juneteenth. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. And Marcus, I'm gonna call you after this, by the way. But yes. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. That part. I'm late. Love you. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. I'm very much appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Thank you all for sharing space with me. Thank you. Oh, Lady T, welcome. I'm happy you enjoyed this. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, reading has been answering questions I haven't been able to form yet. Exactly. Love yourself and honor your people and yourself. Yeah. Love yourself and honor your people. I appreciate your life and your journey. Oh, love and light and more life. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a new moon last night too. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Between that and Juneteenth today, the positive energy is strong. Oh, yes. It was therapeutic. I enjoy this. Thank you for speaking with me, y'all. Alicia, this is why I say no other YouTuber, is doing what you do. You'll always have an audience. Thank you, The Dark Nate. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You're always so generous. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Meriton Martin. I hope I'm saying this right. Thank you. Grateful. Happy Juneteenth. Yes. Yes. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Yes. Nap time. Hello. Hello. Without money and the need for it, I think I could be who I was born to be. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? We don't do a lot of stuff for money, not from the soul or the spirit. It's true. It's true. It's true. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you all. Yeah. Start your channel. Okay. Please start your channel. Please. I appreciate this consciousness raising space. I love it in the chat. Excuse me. Me too. Me too. It's one of my favorite places to be. I appreciate y'all. Yes. Yes. All right. I got to go now, y'all. My throat's starting to dry up. But yes. Oh, I'm refreshed. So am I. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. And it's not y'all fault that I'm dry also. I just haven't been drinking my water. It's been here. I just haven't been taking breaks. But yes. Yes. Okay. I'll get to that. Okay. Yes. Yeah, the positive energy is so strong today. They playing the go-go version of Cha-Cha Slide at the church down the street. Yes. First of all, I know DC is the DMV period is probably lit up today. I might go find something to do. We'll see. We'll see. Yes, may you all be well. Yes, may you all be well. That's a beautiful way to end this. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Freedom Day. Seek freedom in your own life and free other people as well. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.